blinds? Blindster makes custom blinds simple and affordable. You measure at home, install yourself, and save big. No retail store markups, just custom blinds guaranteed to fit. Blindster.com.
Russ Rollins here. Hey, the best investment this August is your health. That's right. Make August the month you take care of yourself. Listen, heart disease and many cancers can develop silently. You don't even know what's going on. Matter of fact, sometimes the first symptom of heart disease is a heart attack. You don't want to wait for that. Call my friends at Life Imaging. You pick up your cell phone and you dial pound 250. You say the keywords free heart scan. You'll be connected in seconds. There's a few minimum requirements, but take advantage of this. We've had so many of our listeners that have gone to Life Imaging, found out they had heart disease. They had no idea. They thought they were in great shape, and they had to have it taken care of, and it saved their lives. Also, cancer screening, super important to do. You can do it at Life Imaging. Just pick up your cell phone, dial pound 250, say the keywords free heart scan, and you'll be connected in seconds. Don't wait. Call now and take care of this. You'll be glad that you did. It's Life Imaging. Make sure you tell them that Russ and the Monster sent you.
It's grand in your hand time on Real Radio. $1,000 13 times each weekday. I bet your favorite podcast doesn't pay you to listen. Well, we do. Hear keyword, enter website, answer phone. We're the best at this, and you are in the right place. Real Radio 104.1. This national contest sponsored locally by Mills Air.
Mills Air has been in business since 1992, right here in Central Florida. That's over 29 years. They're not going anywhere. Carrier, factory, authorized dealer. Turn to the experts. That's Mills Air. It's equipment change-out time. You can get upgrades up to $1,275 in rebates. Go to millsair.com.
Are you all worked up and working too much? You know what y'all need? Y'all need to chill out. Y'all need to have fun. Y'all need some adventure. Why? Y'all need Gatorland. How do we know? Ain't no one got more animals, more gators, or more fun than Gatorland. And now, Florida residents get what they need for less with $17.50 admission now through the end of August. We know what y'all need. Y'all need Gatorland. Get ready for the ultimate freestyle experience. Monster Jam Freestyle Mania, presented by Spin Master. See one-of-a-kind FMX bikes designed to match your favorite iconic Monster Jam trucks. Cheer on your favorite team. 2 times the freestyle action. Full send family fun. Brought to you by your local Ford dealers. Save up to $10 on tickets with a savings coupon from participating Ford dealerships. Restrictions and exclusions may apply. See savings coupon for details. Coming to Kia Center this Saturday and Sunday.
Listen to Real Radio in your smart home. Just tell Alexa to play Real Radio 104.1 on iHeartRadio. Sponsored by Mark Spain Real Estate.
Can you believe kids are already going back to school? And while it's hard to admit, that means another allergy season is just around the corner. Set your appointment today at Aspire Allergy and Sinus and find a solution for the whole family. Studies show that kids with allergies have a hard time concentrating in school and have more absences than those without allergies. So what are you waiting for? Go to AspireAllergy.com and book your appointment today. That's AspireAllergy.com.
Hey, it's Russ Rollins from the Monsters in the Morning. A lot of people don't think about uninsured motorist coverage until it's too late, but Orlando attorney Mo DeWitt taught me that UM coverage protects you. Now, I'm not an attorney, but if Mo DeWitt says it's important, I know it is because he's speaking from experience. Injured on the go? Just call Mo. JustCallMo.com.
Hey, it's that mortgage guy, Don. Rates are near 3-year lows, and if you have a rate above 6.5, you may be able to lower it a point or more.
With that mortgage guy, Don.com.
I'm Rebecca. I was injured in a car accident and hired one of the big TV law firms. They sent me to an injury clinic that I felt just wanted to make money off me. I needed an attorney and doctors who cared about me. I called attorney Glenn Klausman, and he helped me get the best doctors who really helped me. I was extremely pleased with my settlement. He also got me $10,000 for vet bills for my dog that was injured in the accident, and he did that for free. Call attorney Glenn Klausman at 407-917-1718. That's 407-917-1718. Glenn Klausman, Office, Winter Park.
I move mountains for a living. Literally. That means I don't carry hand lotion, and when it comes to serious heartburn, I don't mess around with anything but Rolaids Max Strength. Its dual active formula has 1,500 milligrams of calcium carbonate and magnesium hydroxide that relieves heartburn fast. And the best part? The roll fits right here in my pocket, so I can get back to moving mountains.
Rolaids spells powerful relief. 1,500 milligrams is our highest amount of antacid per tablet. Read each Use as directed. Keep out of reach of children.
For all your plumbing needs, go to modernpi.com.
Broadcasting live from the JustCallMo.com studios. Injured on the go? Just call Mo. Visit JustCallMo.com or dial 1-800-CALL-MO. This is WTKS-FM HD1 Cocoa Beach, Orlando. An iHeart radio station. Guaranteed human.
Real Radio has your chance to win $1,000. Just enter this nationwide keyword on our website. Credit. C-R-E-D-I-T. Credit. Enter it now at realradio.fm and answer your phone if you get the call. Good luck.
Someone's going to get offended. It's just the way the world works. So to hopefully save everyone a little time and or energy, here's this. The opinions that you hear are those of the host and callers, and not those of iHeartMedia, its management, or advertisers. The News Junkie is on. The best friends you never knew you had, running through the most viral stories of the day. The News Junkie starts now.
It is Monday, August 3rd, 2026. Lots to get to today, from Say Goodbye to Radio to the most insane pick-a-side we've ever done, and details on the in-and-out shooter in Idaho. Plus your calls, dispatches, emails, texts, and more. C-Lane is here.
Hello.
So are you. You can join us. Send us a dispatch over at thenewsjunkie.com or in the app right now. You can also watch the show on YouTube and twitch.tv/thenewsjunkie. Your messages rolling right in the studio in real time. How's everybody doing on a Monday?
Good. How are you?
Good. We got a big week ahead of us here. Got some news for folks tomorrow. We're going to be leaking out, and we got some exciting stuff on the way. And I've saved this day's opening clip for the entirety of the weekend.
Oh,
so
dude, you're not opening the show with this, are you?
I am.
I don't
This
know
was
if that's
sent to
good.
me. More people sent this to tips@thenewsjunkie.com, our opening clip today, than anything in the past couple of months. You sent it to me. Everybody sent it.
My feed was inundated with it, but I think that's because as soon as I watched it, I started interacting with people about it.
Mm-hmm.
And for some reason, Twitter's like, this guy wants to see this link over and over and over again.
Here's more. Here you go. Before we get into this opening clip that's going super viral right now.
And before I tell you why I think it's a terrible idea to open the show with this.
We'll see. We'll see what happens here in just a moment. I do want to say thanks to everybody who participated in our Rate My Blank for last week. Last week it was Rate My Mess. Let's see. I can go through very quickly and crown a winner. We had a lot of good entries as per usual. Was there anything that stuck out to you?
I meant to check it on Friday.
Yeah.
And I just kind of got sidetracked in a bunch of ways.
I'm kind of partial to this one. Somebody's bathtub so overfilled with crap that they can't get in there at all. I think that's not bad. You can see all the submissions. See this one from Hyled Mark, I think is how you say his name.
I have a kind of a special place in my heart for that picture because not only is the mess bad, but you're also using something that's not storage.
Yeah, for storage.
And now you've got an entire piece of your house that you can't use, in this case, a bathtub.
Yeah, you're like your 3-bedroom, 2-bathroom just got knocked down a peg. Right?
And
Like, yeah, so
I currently,
crazy move.
I don't have it as bad as losing a bathroom, although I've known people who have like taken a shower that they don't use and kind of piled some stuff in there for a while. But my utility sink is just full of clean dishes that just needed somewhere to go, and now it's like no sink.
Get with it, my God. Unbelievable. Congratulations to High LED Mark.
All right.
You are our winner for Rate My Blank last week. Rate My Mess. That's what it was. And Rate My Blank, if you don't know, is our distraction for the week. We got a million things going on. We got drama. We got all sorts of stuff. There'll be fights. There'll be all kinds of things. But the Rate My Blank is a consistent distraction to keep us kind of isolated from all of this stuff and then having a little bit of fun along the way. So the Rate My Blank entering for this week, C-Lane, this one is going to require us to have a lot of focus, to be absolutely cool under pressure, and to not laugh as much as possible, because we're going to do Rate My Dad Joke this week.
and you send your audio dispatch of your absolutely knock 'em dead, cheesiest dad popsicle stick type jokes, and if you make us laugh, you are in the running for the prize this week.
Here's the thing. If we are rating dad jokes, is there a point at which a dad joke fails to be dad and just is a joke and that we have to disqualify you?
No, I think you're right. I think it can't be like too great of a joke. There has to be a cheese ball factor to it, right?
And also, I don't think it can't be too long.
No, it has to be short. It's got to be fast, short, funny, and it has to make us laugh, or you're not in consideration. That's our Rate My Blank for this week. Rate My Dad Joke. Good luck, everybody. Send your submissions in over at thenewsjunkie.com or the News Junkie app. Let's get started.
Now,
let's put our ears to the ground, our fingers on the pulse. Let's see what's happening to this great, big, wide world of ours. Why is this a bad idea?
It's like a bad omen to start things off for the week.
Oh, God. Is this going to spider curse us?
Now, you have not watched this, right?
No, I've still not seen it. I don't know how I ignored it.
So the backstory on this is there is a brand new women's pro baseball league.
Awesome.
And now there used to be a women's pro league back in like the 40s or 50s.
A league of their own, right?
Maybe that
Tom Hanks was a coach in that league, from my recollection.
Correct. And but it stopped, and they're bringing back women's professional baseball, and this was the very first game. And before the very first game, this is how it started. This is how the Women's Professional Baseball League started. And I want you to watch this and see if you think it is a good or negative omen for their organization and for
How bad could it be? Let's see how it goes.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light?
I underestimated.
What so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming.
Did no one tell these people that they are not good at singing? Did no one?
Here's the thing. I think separately they are decent at singing. Although Martha Reeves, who is the black woman
there's three women.
There's
singing.
3 women singing, and then Martha Reeves is by herself, and then these other 2 women are kind of together, but they're weirdly separated on the field by a matter of a handful of feet, right? And Martha Reeves was like I don't know if you would call her a Motown singer. She was an old school singer, best known for hits like Heat Wave and Dancing in the Street.
Those are good.
Martha and the Vandellas were inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame in 1995. She is a name in the music industry. Martha's also quite a bit older than she was when she was doing all this.
I mean, she's not old enough to sound like that.
Look at the people's faces.
We're so gallantly
My patriotism is plummeting.
And the rocket's red glare.
Oh, God, I can't. Is this real? Did they maybe stunt this up because they were like, nobody's going to be talking about women's baseball?
There are a handful of comments, and I listed my favorite ones, but there were a bunch of people who thought, could this possibly be a way to have made the inaugural game of women's pro baseball go viral if this was on and listen, that's the conspiracy theory that I have not even for a second entertained. Only because if it came out that you were trying a viral stunt to get attention for your league, and that stunt was to desecrate the national anthem, that is not a good look on you.
CFL Kent on Twitch says she would have sounded better if she sang alone. I disagree.
Bombs bursting in air.
She is singing alone. Oh, not anymore. Who asked for this?
Still there.
Watch her. Oh, yeah. A lot of attention paid to that one player.
Oh, God, shut it down.
Or the land of the free and the home of the
I think they stunted this. There's no way.
Why?
No
Why
way.
would you do that? Why?
Because they have ears, right? Like, you just did such an injustice to these women that are playing professional baseball for some reason. I have no idea why they launched this league or if there was really a desire for this. It looks like there's at least a handful of people in the stands, but you may have just driven them away or just driven American citizens away. People saying, please stop, good God. What are you guys doing? Insecure Walrus, who knows about audio, goes, it's just missing some lush reverb. I could have made it sound good. My friend, I'm sure you are very talented. You could not have made that sound good. There's no fixing that.
It's definitely missing auto-tune because it seemed to be that Martha Reeves and her two backup singers were in different keys for much of the performance, if not all of it.
Different keys. My God, that was bad. I'm glad that I didn't listen over the weekend solely so I could have just kept it fresh for right now.
Now,
unbelievable.
I kind of listed my favorites because there was a lot of good content in the comments section.
What'd they say over there?
Reminds me of the Cowardly Lion and the Wizard of Oz, especially at the end because of the vibrato.
Yeah.
I admire her ability to pick a key and just ignore it. There is no law that says you have to applaud after the national anthem.
True.
Somebody called it, and I was like, how have we made it through so many bad national anthems and not heard the Star-Mangled Banner?
Oh, nice.
Everyone owes Roseanne an apology after this. Saw the same thing about Fergie. Even the flag was cringing. And I know she's trying her best, but can she try someone else's best?
That was rough. Any ladies out there who picked up big on the new women's baseball league? Let us know if there's actually some sort of interest in this or if this turned you off too.
And then I was a little bored yesterday, and I was just like kind of hanging around the house. It was just me and the boy, and I watched this. And then I was like, I'm reading through the comments, and there was one guy that was like, come on, guys, we've all seen worse. We're like, from whom?
Yeah, what are you talking
did
about?
Worse? If you're telling me that Fergie was worse than that, I went back and watched Fergie's yesterday, and I was like, I don't know what I would have said the first time, or maybe if I have heard Fergie's before and made derogatory comments, but I watched Fergie's, I was like, that wasn't bad at all.
What was this better than Bongo Guys? Remember Bongo Guys national anthem? Somebody mentioned that in one of the emails they sent in with this
Guys.
line.
You mean?
Oh, look up Bongo National Anthem real quick to refresh your memory, and you'll see what I'm talking about. But that was
I think I remember who you're talking about.
Mama Greaser says, I loved it. I'm so excited for this league. That makes one of you. All right, that puts one on the board. We already have a men's baseball league.
Is she saying she loved the national anthem or she loved the game? Because the game, I'm sure, was exciting. You know, there was a home run that was scored. I saw Fritz reposted the video of the very first ever home run in the women's professional baseball league at this game. And the comment section was like, could this female person that was, announcer, I guess.
Yeah.
The radio announcer, whoever's making the call on ESPN, sound any less excited about this home run. They're like, we're going to need you to pep it up a little bit.
What happened? Did nobody bring their A game to the women's professional baseball league?
The person that hit the home run did.
Yeah. They got excited.
The one lady, the one player that was, like, they were zooming in on her during the national anthem, and there was a particularly big F up in it, and she just kind of sucked her face in to, like, be void of any sort of emotion. She held it in good.
Mama Greaser says, I love the game, not the anthem. She was not a fan of the anthem, but the game, yes, she did. Well, we'll see if it works out for him. Might be a smart business move. Maybe nobody watches it all. We shall see. Let's take a look at the box office this weekend. Was it a big one? Spider-Man web slung his way into your hearts, as they say, with an absolutely massive box office win.
He made
just
a
short
web
of the
cash.
all-time. Oh, that's true, yeah.
Caught a lot of cash in his web.
Just short of the all-time record at the box office set by Avengers Endgame. Spider-Man Brand New Day brought in $355 million.
All right.
Which is pretty insane to even consider. It was absolutely massive. It was, because of that, the biggest collective box office weekend in history. Why? because Spider-Man Brand New Day was out of this world, and the Odyssey was still bringing in a lot of money. So the box office brought in $430 million in ticket sales this weekend, thus making it the most, I'd like this to go back, by the way. I'd like this to go back to all of you people out there that were like, the movie theaters are dead. No one's ever going to go back to movie theaters. COVID changed everything. No, I didn't.
That.
No, I didn't. I said there's always going to be an appetite. I love going to the movies. There's always going to be an appetite for people who want to go and sit in the theaters, and it's a social experience. Sometimes good, sometimes bad, but it's a social experience. It's bigger and better than your screen on your television, and people love it. People enjoy this still, as long as there's good movies. The problem is Hollywood has pumped out so much absolute garbage that nobody wanted to see it, and then they were like, nobody wants to go to the movies anymore. Check the tape. Sean said it. Go ahead. Pull me saying that somewhere, and I'll say you were right. But I love the movies. I go to movies. I'm the one on the show goes to
movies.
Speech
dispatch.
Possibly. But I think that this is proof that people still will pay for tickets to go see some of these movies if they think that what's been happening with the ideas behind the movie and the production of the movie is something worthy of their money. And Spider-Man Brand New Day, $360 million officially. Very, very big. Tom Holland, just quit, buddy. Just quit. What are you going to do? I mean, you know what I mean? Like, the Odyssey is number 2. Your Spider-Man movie is number 1. What else? Is Zendaya in both of them, too, or is it just Tom Holland?
No, I think Zendaya's in both.
And the Punisher guy? The Punisher guy is in both of them?
Are we saying that wrong? I think somebody was coming after us last week when it was Zendaya, maybe.
Oh, God, who cares?
Save me the person's name.
Perfect pronunciation of Zendaya's name, or Zendaya, or whatever. I think I said it the same way twice.
Zendia.
Zendia. Thank you, Zendia. But number 1 and number 2 at the box office with Spider-Man Brand New Day and the Odyssey, Toy Story 5, and at number 3, Minions and Monsters, Moana rounding out the top 5. Obsession finally knocked out of the top 10. Finally, after 12 weeks, the little movie that could gets knocked out. Now, I've talked a bit about how ridiculous some of the things at the theater have gotten. Now, I have complained about this, complained about pricing at the theater and all this stuff. With the Spider-Man movie blowing up this weekend, when we come back, not only will we get into some of your spicy emails to kick things off, not only will we get all set up for our friend Amy Caulfield, we got another interview about an hour after that to talk about something very frightening. But when we come back, I've never seen anything like this. As far as movie deals go, you've got to hear. You're not going to believe what this is about, but I'll explain it to you because that is coming up next on the News Junkie.
Real Radio is on Instagram at Real Radio 1041. Sponsored by the law offices of Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys. Call the law offices of Anajar and Levine at 1-800-747.
Stand by. Skull Mike kicks off right after this very first live read of the week. We're going to knock it out, and then it's commercial free, baby. Commercial free from here on out. How you doing on a Monday, chat? How you doing on a Monday? YouTube, Twitch, TNJ chat. I'll be over there in a second. Stand by. I saw Gringo's closed down. I went there on the final night, man. What the hell?
7 with traffic. I'm Samantha Canning.
This report is sponsored by Progressive Insurance. Progressive Insurance makes bundling easy and affordable. Get a multi-policy discount by combining your motorcycle, RV, boat, ATV, and more. All your protection in one place. Bundle and save at Progressive.com or call 1-800-PROGRESSIVE.
Here's the deal. I think we are past maybe the hottest days of 2026, but maybe not. Either way, it's going to be warm for a while longer, and your AC is not going to make it. It's not going to cut. It's not going to cut the mustard. Is that what they say? It's not going to keep you cool throughout the rest of the summer in the state that it's in. If you're doing that thing where you put your hand in front of the AC vent to see what's going on here, something's not right in this room. You deserve to be comfortable. You deserve your AC to be working, and you deserve to save on your power bill by making it as efficient as possible. You deserve Mills Air. Mills Air is the company that's going to help you out. It's the only air conditioning company, in my opinion, that's going to be honest with you, fair with you. They're going to shoot you straight. You deserve that. They cut the mustard. Am I saying this right? They cut the mustard over at Mills Air. You can trust in them, and they're a Carrier factory authorized dealer. 407-277-1159. That's the number. Get your AC fixed. 407-277-1159. Or find them online at millsair.com.
Our iHeartRadio Music Festival.
What do you think? Did that cut the mustard, folks? Huh? True. I thought about that. It's not cut the cheese. Okay? Hey, everybody. Welcome in. Let's hit that like button over on YouTube. We got a crazy week ahead of us. And I mean it. A crazy week ahead of us. Somebody said Gringo's closed. I know. I went to Gringo's when it closed. I saw the people commenting on social media about Gringo's, which if you don't know, in Orlando is like this chain of burrito and taco places famous for their double D's. Double D's. They're double-decker, soft and hard shell tacos, and they were really good. The double D's were very, inarguably good, I suggest. And there were some people like me who disliked the beef at Gringo's because it was way too sweet. But the amount of hate that a burrito chain gets when it closes from rando online weirdos heavily invested in reddit.com as their number one platform is so bizarre to me. You unhappy weirdos. The idea that you're like cheering on the downfall of a company and the complaints coming in about how here's the reason why this Gringo's place closed, Sean. It closed because the tacos are $5. Man, how much do you think a Taco Bell taco is in 2026? You guys are the same jackasses who are screaming about paying an employee a fair wage, trying to make sure you take care of your employees as best you can. And then when a place does it and it requires them to charge you $5 for what is a big-ass taco, then you complain about that too. So you complain about everything. Literally just everything is just complaints about whatever. Cheering on the downfall of a burrito chain is a weird choice, man. Taco Bell's about $1.50. Not for a double-decker. What's a double-decker Supreme at Taco Bell? $3? $3.50 for a double-decker Supreme, an equivalent taco? These little bitches were whining about, the tacos are $5. Little broke bitch Redditors. Yeah, Reddit was being brutal per usual. It's just like miserable people. Like, it can't just be like, man, this chain closed. That sucks. Hope the employees find a great gig and are able to transfer well over to the next thing. It's always like, they sucked. They were the worst. They did this. They have $5 tacos are too much. Publix is too expensive. Holy shit. Find something else to complain about, you fucking losers. Get it together. Please. Gringo's was good. Gringo's was definitively decent. Decent. Okay. Shawnee's event on Reddit about Reddit? I no. The platform is like, there's so many subreddits where I just file them over to like, okay, that one's infested with weird political people. Put it over here. Infested with weird political people who think the world has done them wrong. I'm not crashing out, for the record. Been saving this up all weekend. All right, I got your emails coming in. RIP radio. Say goodbye to radio. I'll explain what that means. It's all coming up in a bit. Toxic? Yeah, toxic community. Instead of complaining about it, go do something about it? About what? Like make a new taco place? It's like, my main point is that you don't have to root for the downfall of a taco place. Hello? How was the class? That was so fast. That's bad. Can't you pull something? Okay. See you later. Here we go. Junkie Tacos by Sean. I don't know if that sounds desirable. Big election tomorrow. Oh, here we go.
It felt like mine. Those are powerful words, my.
Download the free iHeartRadio app, search Math and Magic, and listen
Win
now.
$25,000 in free impact windows from Maurice Windows. Text TRUST to 20129.
Real Radio has your chance to win $1,000. Just enter this nationwide keyword on our website. Credit. 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 Enter it now at realradio.fm and answer your phone if you get the call. Good luck.
Tackling sensitive subjects with unparalleled irreverence.
Room carries on as per usual. My God, we got a lot to sort through, a lot of good drama today. Even a good pick-a-side we'll do in just a bit. We'll get into your emails. You can email the show, tips@thenewsjunkie.com, tips@thenewsjunkie.com. We were talking about Spider-Man being number one with a bullet at the box office, almost the biggest opening of all time. Honestly, beforehand, I didn't hear a ton of people talking about it, but people just, I think they were ready. It's been long enough. And the movie, by the way, was good. It was good, okay? If you didn't see Spider-Man Brand New Day, we did go see it. We went and saw Spider-Man Brand New Day. I didn't know what to expect at all. It was grittier than I expected. The story was pretty decently written, and it was a good time. It was a fun time to watch it, and I think that's what people were looking for. They're looking for these experiences at the box office. But I got to tell you, there was a couple of things I wanted to share with you on this. Here's one of them. They're starting to offer all of these different like movie theater experiences, and they just sound so crazy to me. Maybe this strikes you as a good deal or something, but here's an example. This says The Odyssey, 15/70 millimeter. Does that mean it's like one of the choice IMAX screenings? There's not too many of them in the country, if that's what it is.
Well, the 70 millimeter I think is different than IMAX, but I don't know what the 15 part is.
It says Odyssey 15, the Odyssey 15/70 millimeter, runtime 3 hours. Okay. Here's the deal they have. This is crazy to me. They offered the VIP priority IMAX experience. All right. This is the movie theater, the deal for you in 2026. See the Odyssey like a true VIP. You can bring up to 10 guests. All right. Up to 10 guests total, for $1,500 at these movie theaters where they are doing the IMAX experience. Here's what you get. Tell me if you think this is a good deal. Remember, $1,500 for you and 9 of your best friends. And boy, they better be best friends. You get up to 10 VIP tickets to the Odyssey. You get priority theater entry for the best available seating options. Oh, I'm sorry. Did you think you were getting the whole theater to yourself for $1,500? No. It's just like a Southwest Airlines flight. You get to board a little earlier and pick your choice spots in the movie theater. Let me tell you something. If I pay $1,500 to go watch the Odyssey in IMAX and somebody starts talking on their phone in the middle of the movie, I'm going to shoot them. There will be a shooting in the middle of the screen of this movie for $1,500. Okay,
there a guy that already did that.
Yes. Oof. Priority theater entry for the best available seating options. 5 reserved parking spaces, so you can get a great parking space. Up to 10 large popcorns with unlimited refills. Up to 10 large fountain drinks with unlimited refills. And up to 10 custom Odyssey-themed desserts crafted by a local culinary partner. That's what you get for $1,500.
First of all, for $1,500, I better not get up to 10. I'm getting 10. I'm getting, even if I bring 8 people, we're getting 2 extra desserts, 2 extra popcorns. Miss me with this
taking it
up
with
to
us.
10 thing.
Yeah.
Second, I Googled it, and the 15/70 millimeter, that is used for true IMAX presentations. I thought there was a 70 millimeter that is not IMAX, but I might be wrong on that because I do not dive into this like nerdland where I go out of my way to see movies presented in a certain way. The 15 is because it's 15 sprocket holes wide in the film.
Yeah. Okay.
You know how
because the film is bigger, right?
Right, but you know how it has holes on the end?
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
There's 15 of them to get one frame.
The little holes on the edge of like film, if you see old like negatives or whatever. So there's 15 in there. Oh, that's what that means?
Yeah.
Well, you get 10 VIP tickets, which just means you get to pick your seats before everybody else. You get 5 parking spaces. You get 10 popcorns, 10 fountain drinks, and 10 desserts.
So
it's $1,500. It's $150 a person to go to see a movie.
As one person, you get to go $150 for a ticket to the movie, early access, half a parking spot.
Yes.
Popcorn, soda, and a dessert.
For $150. Isn't that's crazy to me? Like, that is crazy to me to be that expensive. But I guess just a regular true IMAX ticket is pretty expensive. You guys can tell me how much it is. I've never actually been to one of the true IMAX theaters where there's only so many of them. But would you do that? There ain't a movie on the planet that I would pay $1,500 for. $1,500, you can literally start to build your own home theater for that much money. Maybe not the one you dream of, but like you could get a 70, 80-inch flat screen at Costco. You could get a surround sound system with some cube speakers and a center speaker and a subwoofer. You could probably get that together for $1,500 instead of watching the Odyssey one time and getting some popcorn and a dessert or something. But maybe it's this good. Let us know. Would you do that? Or do you think that's a ripoff? Send your dispatches over at thenewsjunkie.com. Absolutely crazy. It leaked again, just like the Odyssey leaked. Spider-Man Brand New Day leaked out. Somebody posted it on X.com, and that was out for a couple of hours, reaching millions of accounts before somebody took that down. Then I heard a little tidbit about Spider-Man worth working in. I did not know this. It's kind of interesting. Spider-Man Brand New Day will open in IMAX theaters on August 6th. So you're asking yourself, hold on, Spider-Man's not in the IMAX theaters yet? The record-breaking superhero movie did not open in IMAX originally because of the Odyssey's exclusive 3-week run in IMAX theaters.
Interesting.
Now that those 3 weeks are over, IMAX is able to schedule Spider-Man Brand New Day showtimes. The Odyssey will retain most of the IMAX screens, with Spider-Man Brand New Day sharing the IMAX global network across select digital locations. So the film ones are going to stay with the Odyssey. And all 41 of the company's 70 millimeter film locations around the world, only in the whole world, there's only 41 of them. There's only 41 of these projectors, I guess, 70 millimeter film locations in the world. They'll still have the Odyssey, but the digital ones will start to show Spider-Man and IMAX. And that's the crazy deal that the Odyssey got. Like, they made that much money. Spider-Man probably would have broken the all-time record over Avengers Endgame if it was available in IMAX. I think there's no doubt about that, but it wasn't, and they had a deal with the Odyssey folks, I guess, to knock this out. Let us know what you think about this. Send us a dispatch over at thenewsjunkie.com or email the show, tips@thenewsjunkie.com. All right, let's see what we got here. We're going to get to your contributions to the show.
You're asking about what the IMAX costs?
Yeah, for one ticket, just like not the digital one, the legit IMAX.
I think this is a legit one, but Peisenberg said they saw Odyssey Saturday night, 70 millimeter IMAX. Having never really seen an IMAX, 70 millimeter sounds like it's not digital.
Yeah, I think that's the real one.
But I don't know what was different about it aside the screen from the screen being ginormous. Wasn't worth $75 for both of our tickets.
Okay, for two.
75 for two.
Okay, 75 for two is still pretty pricey. Yeah, people are saying about $35 or so. But there are people who pay it. The majority of the first couple of days of money for the Odyssey was actually from IMAX theaters. The digital ones included, obviously.
That's how I got that record. That's how they're setting these records.
So we'll see. We'll see if that continues, and we'll see what changes with the theater switching things up here. I do have a lot of people already joining in on the Rate My Blank, but I truly wonder if this is a good idea. I'm not sure. I see High Lead Mark, our Rate My Blank winner from last week, emailed, or he sent it a dispatch. High Lead Mark, make sure you email tips@thenewsjunkie.com and I'll give you a prize redemption link, okay? Here we go. This is what it's going to be like all week, folks. C-Lane, try to hold it in. Do not give out any courtesy laughs, because if we laugh, that means the Rate My Blank, Rate My Dad joke for the whole week. That means these are in contention for the big prize. Here's 11 Charlie.
Do you know what happens when somebody slaps you at high frequency? It megahertz.
Okay. We're going to go to the next one. Here is Got Crypto.
So I recently learned a tough lesson. Never buy shoes from a drug dealer. I don't know what those were laced with, but man, I was tripping.
Okay. All right. One more. Pilot Mike.
So my friend Sarah left her Pepsi about 60 miles south of Tampa. That's where Sarah's soda is.
God, that one's so bad that you only know it if you're in the state of Florida and know that it's a Sarasota joke. Okay, folks, you guys are going to weigh in on this too. We are going to try to be stone-faced about these Rate My Blank, Rate My Dad joke entries. We may not give you the courtesy laughs, but if you on the texting service react, I got a couple of them. If you react, we could add a bookmark to them. Keep yours coming in over on the website at thenewsjunkie.com. Okay. Couple of emails real quick. Melanie emails the show. She says she's commiserating with you, C-Lane. Oh, okay. By the way, how are the knees? How are you feeling today after Friday's mishap?
It's just Thursday. A little scraped up. It's annoying.
Still doing okay, though.
Yeah.
All okay. All right. Okay. Can we do our dad jokes in TTS Sean voice? You can if you'd like. You can if you want to. Melanie emails, commiserating with C-Lane, she says, "Good day, guys. I'm listening to Friday's podcast this morning, and I could completely commiserate with C-Lane and his bruised ego from his bruised knees. He fell on Thursday, for the record, for those you don't know. A year ago, I was taking my trash out to the curb, pushing it in front of me. I somehow stumbled, causing the trash can to roll out and fall, and the lid was already open, and it was laid on the ground, and I stepped on it. Stepping on the lid while it was still rolling made me fall, and I dislocated my shoulder," she says.
Oh, no.
"It popped, and immediately the pain was so severe, like I had seen in the movies, I knew I had to go to the ER. My boyfriend took me there, and having to repeat the story over and over again was humiliating. The worst part was that they kept looking at him like he did it, and I was making up this elaborate story to cover up his abuse. Oh, no. They thought she had been beaten by her partner, and that she was saying like, oh, no, I slipped on the trash can lid, but she really did. Nope, I'm just a klutz, and I tripped over my trash can and dislocated my shoulder. So, C-Lane, it could have been worse. Wiggle, wiggle, literally pop, pop, says Melanie."
Yeah, I was like kind of relieved that at least I had already taken out the recycling and like didn't go down with the bin, and then I'm having to like scurry around in the dark and try to pick up all the trash that was like spilling out. That would have been not so fun.
None of that was as bad as what I saw over the weekend, where a woman like a damn Looney Tunes character stepped on a rake. Did you see that, lady?
No.
Oh my God. I don't even know if I can show it, but there was a woman who, just like a character in a cartoon, she stepped on a rake and had to go to the hospital because the rake straight up like went through her foot. I'm not sure why this comes up when I'm
like, is that the woman?
Like, this is not the woman who stepped on the rake.
Rake lady? Oh, okay.
As far as I can tell. And you know what? I'm going to stop scrolling right there because I don't know what other things are going to pop up when I'm looking for rake lady. But just trust me, that happened this weekend.
What did you search?
I didn't search anything to give me that, for God's sake. When we come back, say goodbye to radio. I'll explain. Just an absolutely unbelievable story you got to hear. We'll get to that. We'll get to more of your feedback, more of your Rate My Blank Dad Joke edition, and a whole lot more coming up next on the News Junkie.
Coming up tonight.
Hello. Welcome to the show. Welcome behind the scenes. How are we doing, YouTube, Twitch, and TNJ chat? As per usual, beginning of the show, if there's any stories that have been on your radar over the last couple of days, because it was just the weekend, toss them out in chat right now. If I see something popping up a bunch, we'll absolutely touch on that story. So if there's any stories that you saw over the weekend that have been grabbing your attention, post about those right now so we can see if there's any need to go anything outside of my giant pile of things. AM and FM radio, boy, hold your breath and wait till you see what's coming up. Sean, our TTS dispatch is coming through. I don't know. Is there a problem? You got to tell me. Tell me if the TTS dispatches aren't working, and I'll take a look. When we get back, Sean will explain in 1.5 hours. I'll explain next, literally moments from now. Okay, everybody hit the like button on YouTube. Sean, back home, sad I did not buy the 53 Chevy Bel Air convertible. It did not have AC. You can't have that, SSJ. You can't have that. All right, I'm looking for your help today. It is a fresh month, August. We have a clean scoreboard, as you can see right now, our leaderboard for gifted subscriptions. Ain't nobody gifted nothing for the month of August. So that requires you to help out and support the show. 1, 2, 3 helps. Don't leave it to the Oilers who drop big donations all month long. I want you to help out today. 1, 2, 3. Splendor's in your coffee. Gifted subscriptions over on thenewsjunkie.com. Let's get that rolling. Trump's AI art is pretty impressive. I did not see this. Bird Nerd says, finally watched the new Idaho murderers documentary this weekend. Really good. The body cam footage was very interesting, very revealing. You could see the sort of terror in the friend group and among those college students. It was a little disappointing that there was some stuff that I thought was left out about Brian Kohberger and his guilt and things that make it clear that he was up to something. If you're a juror in that case, you're going to find him guilty in a second. And the murder was done with a knife that he owned. The knife sheath was left at the scene with his DNA on the knife sheath button. He knew that that would be a problem, so he kept thinking about getting a new knife sheath, and they got his data from Amazon and showed that he kept putting the knife sheath in his shopping cart to buy a replacement so he could be like, no, mine's right here. And then I don't know if he did or didn't do that. He was caught at the DMV, Brian Kohberger was, trying to get a new license plate number, a new license plate issued, because he thought that his may have been caught on the security video, and he was worried about that and wanted to get a new license plate on his car. Like, he was so guilty and so obviously would have been found guilty by a jury. It's unfortunate. Submitted 2 TTS dispatches, neither show up. Oh, no, that's by design. Yeah, you can't see them, but I probably can. Yeah, text-to-speech dispatches and anonymous dispatches do not show on the app or the website, but I still have them, I'm sure. Sorry, I should have probably clarified that, but it's Monday. Charlie says on TNJ chat, where do I record a dad joke? Go to thenewsjunkie.com or download the app, which you can also do at thenewsjunkie.com. Record your dad joke, or if you're a subscriber, do a TTS dad joke. And bam, presto, just like that, you're going to be in the running for our Rate My Blank of the Week. That scumbag got off easy? True. SSJ says, my eye's still blind, but the gas line is down in a couple of days. I hope I can see again. It's been over a month now. You got baby that thing, man. Will radio die in the next 5 years, chat? broadcast radio, AM and FM included. Will radio be dead, what you would consider dead, a dead zone, in the next 10 years? Some stories from this weekend that are going to blow your mind. But what do you think? Will radio be dead as we know it? Traditional radio, old-fashioned tune-in the next 10 years? Yes or no, chat? Let me know what you think. Thanks, Anthony, for the gifted sub on YouTube.
Have you heard? Quantum Fiber from AT&T is offering a great deal on fast fiber internet. $55 a month for speed up to 1 gig. Find out more at quantumfiber.com. Seriously, grab this special deal now. Limited availability in select areas.
Need a new roof or windows? Visit hbnusa.com.
Real Roof Radio.
Now back to the most viral newsroom on planet Earth. This
Explain, man. There's a lot happening this weekend in our industry. Some of you are into this, some of you are not. If you're here just for the viral news, stand by. We'll get to the next story in just a moment, I promise. We got Amy Caulfield coming up in the top of the hour. That's less than 15 minutes away. After that, in the top of the next hour, we've got an expert. This woman is probably too smart to be on this show, but she's an expert at this thing because a lot of stories are suggesting that Iran is hacking our water supply in the United States of America. And we're just a bunch of dummies over here. I want to know, what does that mean? How is this done? Is it actually sophisticated? Is there any danger for everybody? What other things could hackers hack that would affect you in your real life, not on the internet? So that will be at the top of the next hour. But this weekend, there was a couple of stories that caught my attention about this industry. Many of you who listen to the show listen because you love radio and you love the format. You love broadcasting. And when I say that, I generally mean this kind of radio, talk radio. Not many people like music radio in the same way. You put up with music radio. You sit in your car, you're like, I like the songs on this channel, but you barely have any allegiance to music radio. You don't care if you're getting your music from a radio station or for some app that has the best, playlist that's perfectly created for you. People don't care about that. These aren't those days any longer. But I ask you, really, do you think radio is going to die within the next 10 years? Because I think we're going to see a lot more stories like this one. Let me bring this up here. A legendary station out in California was shut down over the weekend. And when I say shut down, I mean, it wasn't shut down in the sense that they're not broadcasting anymore. It was shut down for all the employees. And here's one of the stories of this. It says, or about this, I should say. Legendary California radio station KCAL 96.7. For those of you who don't know, radio stations start with the W east of the Mississippi, and west of the Mississippi, you get a K in front of that station call sign.
Really would have made more sense to put the W to the west, but who am I?
I agree. It would have been easier to remember, but you know how it goes. It's too late now. But this radio station in California, 96.7 rock station, it had been around for so long. This was a station that people grew up with, their favorite bands. They learned about them on this station. And then after one of the shows on Friday or something, they said, we're firing every single one of the DJs on this station. And I said, welp, get ready, because this is just the beginning of the Grim Reaper coming through music radio. Music radio is going to be decimated. It will be first. And it is an easy call for these radio stations. I say this not to be rude to our brethren in music radio. I appreciate you. I know some of you are talented at what you do, but you are incredibly expendable. I just hate to say that, but it's just the truth. It is the truth. When you look at these radio stations, they find you to be expendable. So this classic rock station fired everybody. Morning show, middays, afternoons, nights, overnights, all of that stuff. When I first got into radio, I don't know if this was true for you. I think this might have been true for you too, Sealand. Possibly. When I first got into radio, there was somebody literally at the radio station 24/7.
Not for me, no.
No? There wasn't anybody, like, overnights, there wasn't anybody running the board at that time?
No.
Okay, so we would always have somebody, because you had cart machines, and the cart machines weren't automated, and for commercials and stuff, and the playing the CDs and stuff, you would have to get your list for your shift. You would get all of the music that you were supposed to play. You would get all of the carts ready. You would stack them up, and you would start playing your music for your shift. And there was somebody in the mornings live, somebody all day long. There was somebody live behind the board, babysitting the board, making sure the music was going out to the people, right? Not anymore. And shortly after I started in radio, they started by automating overnights, and then they just went on and on from there. And then they said, and every part of the industry has done this, they said, we're going to take our best people and put them on many stations. We're going to, you're going to be the rock guy for the Southeastern and all of these stations around here. And we're going to fire the other 40 people that did this work. And now this is just a matter of time, because for them, it's cheaper. They've found in a lot of studies that they've done, believe it or not, that whether they have the DJs on introducing the music or if they have nothing and they're just playing music, it literally does not affect the ratings that much. There are not that many people who are like, I only listen for Cobra Kai Joe in the afternoons, right? So this station, legendary station in California, the first of many to do this, has pulled the plug on all of their DJs. Every single one of them has been laid off, and they're just going DJ free from here on out. They said KCAL has a longstanding history in the Inland Empire. This next chapter builds on the station's strong rock heritage. They've fired all the people that actually work there. I'm looking at some of the DJs that work there. And then when you're fired, you go, okay, well, I got to try to get a gig somewhere else. And there's less and less and less and less places to do this. Radio is in dire straits. Music radio is in very much dire straits. What we do around here isn't quite as replaceable just yet. And the content, the words coming out of our mouths, that is the stuff that the radio station can't just have music take care of. We are the content here, at least for now. But this is going to be happening so much more. If you have a station like that you still like, it'll impact you. And I'll ask you this. If you were listening to a music station and they said, we're firing all of our radio DJs, no humans will be introducing the songs, does that change anything for you? Would you stop listening? Or do you really only care about the music to begin with? I used to think they cared about me when I was Sean J on WLDI, Wild 95.5.
Oh, that's cute that you thought that.
I thought people cared about me, C-Lane, and my intro to the latest Britney Spears song, but they did not.
Alien Ant Farm.
Alas, they did not. Not even the people who ran the station cared about my voice being on that station so much. But this is the beginning of it. We had one of our local morning shows, RIP, as of today. Like, it was in the industry trades. They said, gone, done, over with. This is why I'm telling you guys, this is the beginning of the next layer of what broadcasting looks like. And that's what we're trying to be on the crest of the wave for. And it involves you. And if you like this stuff, now is the time to jump on board and support. Now is the time to show the suits that you do care about this kind of stuff, because it's going to be a bloodbath. And radio might be now. Your job is probably not too far down the line. Maybe ours too. We'll see about all of that.
I've never heard of this area where they broadcast the Inland Empire. There's a small portion of California, Riverside, San Bernardino, Ontario metropolitan area that they refer to as the Inland Empire. It makes it sound a lot cooler than it is, I think. An empire.
Yeah. It's not the beach. So instead of calling it just not the beach, they're like, it's the Inland Empire.
Uh-huh.
All right.
That's where Joshua Tree is.
Oh, is it really? The U2 place? Yeah. Okay.
Yes, that's what it is, the U2 place.
Thank you. I have lots more entries for our Rate My Blank. I mean, a ton of them. I don't know if any of these are good or worth playing. I do like that people are using TTS for some of them. Here's another entry.
Why do Norwegian ships have barcodes so they can scan D-Navy in?
Putting 2 crowd cheers does not count, all right? No. Why do Norwegian ships have barcodes so they can scan the Navy in?
Yeah.
I get it.
That's one that the TTS probably did a disservice to.
The pacing was off. Yeah. Does this one even have a punchline?
What do you call a cow with no legs? Ground beef.
All right.
That's one of the oldest jokes in the book, and you're laughing at that.
I didn't mean to. I was legitimately trying not to. This is why our industry is crumbling over here. Okay, one more. Here's let's go over to this one. Here's Charlie.
Hey guys, why does Snoop Dogg carry an umbrella?
For drizzle.
For drizzle.
A new rule for the Rate My Blank, Rate My Dad jokes for this week. If C-Lane can finish your joke before you get to the punchline, if he can guess what the punchline is, auto disqualified.
He was already disqualified for stealing a joke that runs as a promo on our station for the Jim Colbert show. Yeah.
double disqualified if that's the case. We cannot have that. One more?
Sure.
One more. All right, here we go. Here's Yuckers.
I went in for a colonoscopy the other day. The doctor accidentally punctured my colon, and I came out with a semicolon.
I don't know. We could call
the
this
sound
off.
effects is the thing that's coming closest to breaking me.
They've got some options over there. You can join in over on thenewsjunkie.com. Submit a dispatch over there, just like Dent Man.
What did the snail say while he was riding on the turtle? Whee!
See, this is, folks, so far, wide open. There's a path for you to victory that is not impeded by any good submission so far, I would say.
Is that because a turtle would be moving faster than a snail?
Yeah, I think so.
Oh.
Yeah, it's a thinker. It is a thinker. It is a thinker. All right, send yours over. This is our distraction. This is our distraction for the week. Rate My Blank is Rate My Dad joke, and you can record yours over on thenewsjunkie.com. Quick break, and we are back with our friend Amy Kaufeld. We'll see what's happening with her. We'll catch up on, I know they were talking about this In-N-Out shooting that happened over the weekend. They've named the guy who was responsible. Some crazy details around that, so we'll see what's going on with that and everything else happening in the headlines with Amy Kaufeld coming up next on the News Junkie.
Your chance to win $1,000 in your hand is minutes away on Real Radio 104.1. Brought to you by Mills Air.
From the Clausman Law Traffic Center, car crash, call Clausman Law. Clausman.
Hello. Yes. Welcome behind the scenes of the show. Oh, yes. I don't know if my mic was on when I said that, but yes. Loud and clear over there. All right, folks. Amy Kaufeld is already locked into the grid. She's in her cubby hole, she says. Right here. Amy Kaufeld locked into the grid. We have a guest 1 hour from now as well. Hello? Hi. What can I do for you?
Gas?
You need gas?
Your car needs gas.
Oh, it's my car now?
Yeah, that one's yours.
How much gas are you going to put in the car?
I don't know. It depends on if the tank is or the thingy's fast or slow.
That's what's going to determine whether or not you're going to put a lot of
I'm
gas.
not going to stand there for 20 minutes.
You don't have to stand there for 20 minutes.
I would have last time.
What are you doing with the card right now?
I'm scanning it.
Stop slamming. No, you're going to get it stuck in there or something. Or it won't be able to. Stop messing with my card. You can use that.
Okay.
Put a couple of bucks in there. All right?
Okay.
Put the good stuff. 87 octane.
I had never heard the ground beef one. I thought it was funny.
You thought it was good?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
You have any dad jokes?
I'm not good at remembering jokes. It's not a strong suit for me.
There's something about tomatoes and a little tomato. And then they told him to catch up. But I don't remember that one. You don't remember that one either?
I mean, I can understand where you're going with it.
Okay, forget it. Get out of here.
That shirt scares me.
Well, stop being a pussy.
You guys.
What? I turned it off.
Kevin.
I turned it off.
Him and Mo locked themselves in here on Friday.
I didn't lock anybody in here. We did get locked into the studio, though. That's true. True story. She's not lying to you. Hold on. Okay, good luck. After the show on Friday, Mo and I were talking. We're working on something. And we're like, all right, well, let's get out of here. And I grab the door to the studio, and it's locked. And I go, what the hell? And I guess Mo, when he went out, must have, like when he was coming back in, hit the doorknob in such a way that he locked us in the studio. And I have a key that I hid in here, but I couldn't for the life of me remember where I put the key. So Moses and I were locked in the studio together. I'm blaming Mo because Mo did it. Mo was the one who did it. I didn't leave and come back and lock the door. He hit it with his hand. And then we're just stuck in here. And he goes, wait, are we stuck in here right now? I go, yeah. And I didn't even know if Courtney was here. I was like, oh my God, imagine me and Mo are just sitting here stuck for like an hour and a half in the studio because we can't get out. We were in here for a little while. Do you leave a talkback on the talkback icon? No, we don't do talkbacks. If you're sending those in, I don't see them. You can record a dispatch. Predates the talkback. It's not that iHeart completely copied what I was doing on the show. It's not that iHeart asked if I could maybe lend my technology to the rest of the company and I said no. It's not that any of those things are true. Just totally not true. Those things are just totally not true. But you can record yours at thenewsjunkie.com. I sent in another joke and you're going to love it? I don't believe you. 1 minute. 1 minute, we're coming back. Okay, folks. Let's get moving. Let's get those gifted subs rolling in, all right? Let's get some generous people gifting 1 or 2 subs here and there. We don't have anybody on the leaderboard. It's pathetic. It's a pathetic start to August, and it's the 3rd. Click the gift icon. Get some free merch for each gifted sub over at thenewsjunkie.com. All right, we're coming back with Amy Kaufeld right now. Stand by.
That's why LifeLock is backed by the $1 Million Protection Package, which covers up to $1 million for stolen funds, fees, and experts and lawyers, and out-of-pocket expenses. Don't face the burden of identity theft alone. Protect your future and finances with LifeLock. Join now. Save up.
Breaking news. Breaking news. Ryan with the 6 gifted subs. Thank you, Ryan, so much for the 6 gifted subscriptions. Look at that, baby. And just like that, we got a scoreboard going. Look at Ryan's all by himself on there.
Mo.com studios. Injured on the go? Just call Mo. Need help after an accident? Visit justcallmo.com or dial 1-800-CALL-MO. This is WTKS-FM HD1 Cocoa Beach, Orlando. An iHeart radio station. Guaranteed human.
Real Radio has your chance to win $1,000. Just enter this nationwide keyword on our website. Bonus. 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 Enter it now at realradio.fm and answer your phone if you get the call. Good luck.
Radio.
Filling you in on the shocking details. Just try not to pass out.
In the world's most viral newsroom, I got some of your emails, some spicy takes incoming. We got to pick a side a little bit later on the show. It's going to get weird. It's going to get dramatic and all of that good stuff. Right now, it's time. I know. Calm down, everybody. Calm down. I know everybody gets excited for this moment, but try to stay calm. Let's welcome our friend Amy Kaufeld from Fox 35.
Yeah.
Hey, guys.
There she is, Amy Kaufeld. I saw you were in Washington, D.C. over the weekend, Amy.
It was fun. We went and picked up Kate. So she did a summer internship up there on Capitol Hill.
Yeah.
And she was kind of nervous about it going into it. And then she had a total blast and learned a lot. And it was actually super cool. So have you guys been inside of the U.S. Capitol building?
Yes, I think.
Okay.
Once.
Yeah, Sean was there.
Okay.
It was in January a couple years back. And he said they just
I had
let
a
him
tiki
right
torch.
in. Yeah.
They just waved me right through. I got Nancy Pelosi's podium out of the whole thing.
You didn't think the guy could lift a podium like that, but he did.
I use it as his nightstand.
When I was a kid, I think I went there. I went there not too long ago, but we didn't go back inside. But she gave me like a VIP tour, right?
She did. And it was actually so cool to have your kid give you a tour, because it was, for me, it was like, wow, she was only there 10 weeks, but like all the things that she learned, and it was fascinating. And so she was showing us things like the burn marks on the columns that were from when the British tried to burn the Capitol down in 1814. And then we got to go under the Capitol Rotunda, and that's where the empty casket is for George Washington, because they just basically made this little room for George Washington to be buried, to be interred inside the U.S. Capitol. But then when he died, he was I'd want to be buried at Mount Vernon. So they just left this empty casket there, and it's been there, for 300 years, 200 years.
There's so much history that people, especially a lot of like younger Americans, don't know. I think most people don't even know that the White House was burned down by the British at one point in time, but that's a true story. The British didn't just go away. They retreated into their territory in Canada at the time. And then the U.S. was having skirmishes with the Brits, and the Brits were trying to arm and work with the Native American resistance. And there was a lot of stuff going on. And then at one point, the Brits made their way to the White House, and they burnt the son of a bitch to the ground. And there's still it's the columns and some other areas where
inside the Capitol building. You can see the burn marks. You can see, it's funny, there's on the steps, there's lots of spiral staircases throughout the U.S. Capitol building that are marble. And you can see there's areas or chunks that were missing that they had to replace. And Kate was telling us there's one of two things. They're not 100% sure. Either cannons were dragged up the stairs and the cannons chipped the marble, or she said horses were inside the U.S. Capitol, and the horses would go up the stairwells and they would chip the marble. But just so many little things, little intricate things that you wouldn't notice unless you have someone kind of walking you through it. So it was fun. I'm proud of her.
So she learned a lot, I'm sure, had a good time. You rescued her from Washington, D.C. She's back into the real world now.
That's it.
Yeah, there was so much going on this weekend. How closely, I know you guys were covering it this morning, how closely were we watching that? I'm still not exactly sure what was going on, but that shooting at an In-N-Out location of all places.
Sean. Yeah, 24-year-old kid. I say kid because 24 to me is still young. But yeah, so apparently this In-N-Out in Idaho, southern Idaho, Twin Falls, had only been open for a week. This kid walks up into the restaurant and starts shooting indiscriminately. Killed 3 people, 7 others injured, but it was actually a hero off-duty officer and someone else who was inside of the restaurant who was carrying a concealed weapon.
The guy with the cowboy hat, right?
Yeah. And they both pulled out their weapons and started shooting at the kid, and it kind of freaked the kid out. I guess he wasn't anticipating that someone was going to be shooting back at him. And he ended
They
up
never do.
committing suicide.
Yeah, they never do. Yeah. So I still haven't figured out why. There's something weird that happens sometimes. They release the person's name and they go, here's this younger man who was the shooter at this In-N-Out burger in Twin Falls, Idaho over the weekend. And we'll get into more of the details of this later. And I got some of the press conference stuff. But when they said his name and people started, of course, quickly, furiously searching for him all over the social media platforms. And there wasn't really a lot to go by as far as I saw. It wasn't like, oh, he did this because he hated blank, it doesn't seem clear as to what was going on. There was.
But Sean, do you remember the Butler, Pennsylvania shooter? It was the same thing.
Exactly.
Very little information about that guy. I mean, they could hardly find any kind of, information like that showed like he was, it wasn't like a Luigi Mangione thing where it's like there's a whole, manifesto.
Well, he wrote it right on the bullets.
Yeah.
Well,
no, but there's different things. What I'm talking about mostly is usually, for a long period of time, when there was somebody who was carrying out an attack like this, there were a lot of social media postings in history. Right. And then there's been some of these people, like also the Charlie Kirk assassin. That guy had a pretty sparse internet history himself. And so you just think, well, young person, once we get their name, we're going to see what they were posting about. I haven't seen anything that tells me the motivation of the shooter at this In-N-Out yet.
No, not yet. And I mean, his name is Chad Williams. I didn't even put that in my post today because it's such a common name. You know what I mean? I feel like it'd be hard to track down this particular guy unless you're a pretty good internet sleuth, which I'm sure there will be plenty of people that we'll find out more for sure. This happened on Saturday afternoon, so we'll find out more.
Yeah, it is one of those cases, though, where he did this in a place where there was at least a couple of people with guns, and they started firing back at this guy. And then I think he took his own life at the end of it. But we'll see if there's anything else coming out of that. What else was grabbing your attention this weekend?
So, you guys, we are learning more about this double homicide that happened in DeLand. For those of your listeners who are outside of the Central Florida area, this is a sleepy town, a sweet town. It is a university town, home to Stetson University. And this double homicide happened very close to what is called the Historic Athens Theater, which is a popular community theater where performances are happening all the time. These bodies were found on Wednesday, July 29th. These two young men, one of them is a student at the Citadel. If anybody knows anything about prestigious military academies, this is one of them. And these two young men, 19 and 18 years old, childhood friends. One of them lives in Chicago. That's the second young man. And the other one, Dustin, is the one who was at the Citadel. They were home on some kind of break. And very mysterious. We really don't know a whole lot about the circumstances other than they were shot multiple times.
So two guys shot and killed, and they found their bodies together, and they don't know what happened.
So here's what we do know, and there has not been a lot of information. The FBI is now working with DeLand Police and Volusia County authorities on this one. But we do know that they did execute a search warrant over the weekend, and they went to a house they're not even giving us an exact address. The house is on Lofton Street in DeLand. We don't know if any arrests were made, if they were able to maybe get some evidence from there. We don't know. I mean, it's very mysterious. We actually had a lady on this morning who's a retired FBI agent, and she said the same thing. She said she's glad the FBI is working on this because they obviously have the resources.
Very weird.
As you guys know from like the Nancy Guthrie case, if you don't get the FBI in there early, it can be really damaging because sometimes, in these cases of especially something that is sort of as mysterious as this particular one, you need all eyes on it and you need it all on there as quickly as possible. What do they call that? The first 48, right?
Yeah, right.
Yeah, or you end up with that sheriff down there in the Nancy Guthrie thing. Didn't do very well.
There was a whole write-up about him and how he bungled that operation in the Wall Street Journal this weekend. Oh my God, man. Like, just talk about incompetence in law enforcement. That guy was so bad. But that is a very strange case. So I'll be interested to see.
It's very disturbing. So we're still waiting more information on this. There were some rumors going around that there had been other crimes happening in DeLand that people were wondering if this was connected to it. I think to me, what's just most interesting is that these two were these guys just in the wrong place at the wrong time? We don't know. We don't know.
Interesting. Yeah, we'll have to keep an eye on that story for sure. I want to toss something at you here because I saw a lot of people talking about this weekend. There are varied takes on this and opinions. I want to get Amy Kauffeld's and yours too, Celine, but only yours a little bit, because Amy Kaufeld will just have a better take on this. You know who Mario Lopez is? You guys know who that is, right?
AC Slater.
AC Slater. That's right. Mario Lopez.
Saved by the Bell.
He posted a video this weekend, 6.4 million views, and he said, "I can't take my niece anywhere." And he AI'd a photo of himself and his niece allegedly. And the photo is weirding, or they turned it into a video. And so it's him and his niece at the Dodgers game.
I can't take her anywhere. Oh, my God, look at you.
That's so good.
You're a mess, the mustard.
And they were like, this is your niece, dude. What?
Wait, is it really?
I guess he went to the game with his niece and then AI'd her and him, and she's oddly eating these hot dogs and rubbing mustard all over her face, and
So that is legit his niece.
I think.
He just thought it, like this video, he just made this because he thought it was funny.
I think it's very, very weird. Somebody was posting the prompt that was used for this, or I mean, it's AI, but he took a photo, I think, to start this. Or it's just very weird. I'll put this up on See It Now.
Yeah, I don't like that.
Yeah, I think somebody said this is a weird time to start watching the show. Hey, I'm not the one who posted it.
What does his brother or sister think about this?
I don't know. It's if I was going to
just Uncle Mario being crazy.
If I was going to go out with my niece or nephew somewhere and take a picture of them, and I did this with it, I would probably never be able to see them again. I think somebody would be like, "What the hell is that?" Very,
Sorry,
very
Uncle
bizarre.
Sean.
Yeah, that's the end of the rainbow. But we'll see what happens. I'll put that up on See It Now right now.
I haven't seen that yet. Thanks for disturbing my afternoon.
Yeah, I know. I figured you guys could maybe leave
Canceling
it that tomorrow.
hot dog lunch she had planned.
Top story.
Yeah, I figure you could open the Fox broadcast with that tomorrow and get that out there.
It does bring me to the fact that I used to only like ketchup on my hot dog, but now I'm a mustard girl, but no relish.
Really? Yeah.
I don't like relish.
Relish is not that bad.
I just don't want it on my hot dog.
Yeah, I mean, look.
Wait. What do you want your relish on then?
I don't know. Like I like it like with a like tuna salad. You know, like some people will mix like relish in with their tuna salad.
Yeah,
I don't mind. I don't mind that.
Yeah, but here's the thing: everything is acceptable until you start putting mayonnaise on a hot dog. That's the territory where you've gone too far. Hey, did you see that the ladies singing the national anthem at the?
I don't know what that was about either. Speaking of things that were disturbing, so the gal, was it Martha Reeves? I think apparently at one point she was like a very successful. I'm trying to remember.
She was in.
She was a successful performer, right, Celine?
Martha and the. I said it earlier.
The Motown, Martha and the Vandellas.
Vandellas. I almost said Vendettas, and I knew that didn't sound right.
She was really good.
Yeah, she sang the song Heat Wave, I think Celine said, and a bunch of other really popular songs. But my God, was that absolutely bad. That was mega viral. We'll play that at the beginning of the show if you missed it.
Do you guys think it was worse than like Fergie or Roseanne?
Yes.
Or like where do you rank it? It was worse than Fergie or Roseanne.
I watched a couple of the all-time contenders. I didn't watch Roseanne over the weekend, but once I saw this Martha Reeves thing, I watched Fergie. I watched Shaka Khan. That was one that some people said was bad. And then Christina Aguilera, who does the singing in cursive thing, which a lot of people hate. You know, they want it to be a more traditional by the book anthem. And Christina actually messed up some of the words at the Super Bowl, which was a little embarrassing. But I think all of that stuff can be forgiven once I watch this Martha Reeves and the two other random women singing the same song at two different tempos and in two different keys, but at the same time, because why not? It was,
yeah. I feel like
who the other two ladies were?
I think they were just there to help. I'll bring it up just in case you're just joining us. If you haven't heard this yet, it is quite bad. It doesn't take a long time to get the point.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars.
She's borderline like a ghost. She's like, ooh.
Yeah. The vibrato was very, very overdone, I think.
Yeah, it was a thing. So, yeah, there's that. What else grabbed your attention this morning?
You guys, this is a wild story. So this was a couple of days ago, but people are still talking about it. We're hoping to have the sheriff on tomorrow. Sheriff Rick Staley, who is the Flagler County sheriff, was going out to dinner with his wife, okay?
Mm-hmm.
And he says he spotted a white Dodge Challenger with black racing stripes flying past him. So he turns on his radar, and the guy is going 125 miles an hour. Well, you guys know that these super speeder laws now, anything that is, okay, so the law is you can't be going over 100, right? Then if anything over 100 or over is considered super speeder, or 40 miles an hour over the posted speed limit. So say it's a 25 mile an hour zone and you're going 70.
Yeah.
That would also be considered super speeder. Okay.
Yeah.
So Sheriff Staley, with his wife in the car, pulls this guy over, okay? He ends up getting him pulled over. The guy, his name is Arul Nayak of Palm Coast. He's 22 years old. He had 3 other people in the vehicle with him, okay? And he ends up pulling him over, and the guy says he knows he's getting arrested, okay? So as this is happening, people are honking their appreciation as they're driving by because the guy was not only going super fast, but he was weaving in and out of traffic, which you guys know is a little scary.
So driving 100 and something miles an hour and driving, like weaving in and out of the traffic.
Yeah, yeah. So he tells the sheriff the guy had no criminal history, had never been in trouble before, but he did tell Sheriff Staley, hey, I'm taking my pilot's license exam on Saturday, so I just need to be out of jail before then.
Sure. Yeah, we'll just fast track this whole thing. Yeah.
I don't think they like it when you tell them you've got something to do.
Right. Yeah. It didn't seem very worried about that arrest, for God's sake. Holy cow.
Isn't that crazy?
Yeah. That's somehow.
I don't understand why people keep doing this. I mean, they know it's against the law. Like, they know that they're going to get in big trouble. You're going to
go to
get
jail.
Arrested. Like,
yeah.
Why?
Yeah. Well, for now, until more of the stories get out there about the people actually going to jail, I think that will eventually curb some of this behavior a little bit. Did you see the, real quick though, did you see the other story, Amy, about the Volusia County Sheriff who said Volusia County passed a new law or a new rule about kids on e-bikes, and they're like, kids cannot ride e-bikes in our county. You're not allowed to. Here are all the rules for e-bike riding in our county. And the sheriff was like, I'm not going to enforce it.
Yeah.
The sheriff was
talking about rescinding it, like basically saying that we're not going to do this anymore because if we can't get the sheriff to enforce it, although it was in DeLand, you would think like, okay, well maybe DeLand police can enforce it, but my guess is they don't want to, right?
No.
How do we do this? This is going to take up all of our time.
See, this is going to happen in every city across the country. So no matter where you're listening to this will be something that happens to you too. They made a local law about kids and underage kids riding on scooters and e-bikes and stuff. But Sealand, the sheriff is like, what am I supposed to do? Pull these kids over and start demanding ID and check to see who's what age on the e-bikes that are cruising around? He's like, I'm not going to do anything about that.
Interesting.
To me, it's kind of like, do you guys remember when they first made it against the law to be on your cell phone while you're driving?
Uh-huh.
When was the last time somebody got pulled over for being on their cell phone while driving? You know what I mean? It's like there's just certain things. It's like, okay, you can pass the law, but who's actually going to enforce this?
Somebody says,
cumbersome.
Seawitch says the sheriff doesn't have the authority to pick and choose what laws he enforces. Well, does he? I mean, he's flat out saying he's not going to. He's saying there's state law that I think he says supersedes the county. And so, like, even though there's a problem with kids on e-bikes, this ain't going to cut it. You're going to have a bigger law somewhere. So, yeah.
That's part of the problem, too. And this is happening all over the country. This is not just a Florida issue, is that, everybody is trying to come up with their own set of laws. So I feel like this, to me, the state needs to say, this is what we're doing, and then just make it blanket for everybody, because having every municipality doing their own thing is way too complicated.
Yeah, that turns into a mess. It's like a patchwork of laws everywhere. You know her. You love her. She's freshly back from the nation's capital. And though they tried to make her president while she was there, she refused because she wants to bring you the news every single morning. Our friend, the very talented Amy Kaufeld.
Love you.
Make sure you're following Amy Kaufeld on all social media platforms. Search for her name, Amy Kaufeld, and give her a follow over there. Watch every morning. If you're here in town where we're based out of Orlando, go watch Good Day Orlando, of course. You're probably doing that. But if you're not, make sure you start tomorrow. And make sure you follow along on all of their profiles as well on YouTube, et cetera, on Fox 35. Amy, thank you.
Thanks, you guys. I'm going to go have double hot dogs.
Be careful with those. That's the weirdest thing, man. Slater, what are you doing, Slater? Mario Lopez, what are you? I don't even know. We're going to take a quick break. When we come back, we'll get into a couple of your emails. We got a detail that just came out about the In-N-Out thing that we have to work in. We have a pick-a-side on the way. We're loaded up and ready to go on the show, and we're going to continue along with that because it's coming up next on the News Junkie.
Real Radio is on Facebook at Real Radio 1041. Sponsored by the law offices of Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys. Call the law offices of Anajar and Levine at 1-800-747-FREE.
That's 1-800-747.
Hello. The show continues for you, my lovely people Big thanks to Cat BH for the 5 gifted subscriptions. That makes 2 on the leaderboard for the month of August. Oh no, here comes Tom Tom with 5 gifted subscriptions. That puts 3 names on our leaderboard for the month of August. Support the show. Subscribe at thenewsjunkie.com or gift some subscriptions to claim some merch. How we doing? Mario Lopez, that was weird, man. That was weird. Hey, Bootsy. Hey, Yuckers. Hey, Abraham. Hey, Anthony. Hey, Gipper. Gipper says, I think that's borderline age discrimination, how that law is written. It needs to be tied to a license, not age. Isn't that still the same thing, though? So, like, if you say anybody under 18 can't ride an e-bike that goes over this speed, if you rescind that law and you go, anybody without a valid driver's license cannot drive, it's still got the same impact, right? That's weird. Bootsy said they cleaned up some of the commands. Thank God. Thank God. Last time I perused through the Twitch commands, I was like, how many of these are there? And then I was looking through. Remember the one time I went in and started deleting them because I didn't understand what you guys were using the commands for? There was a revolt like I've never seen on this show. The Twitch people were like, what are you doing with our commands? I'm like, whoa. There was stuff there that I did not understand. There was commands on Twitch that were with misspellings. There was, I didn't know what was going on, but you delete anything? Oh my God. You're seeing an example of what I'm talking about. A quote from me about drinking Celsius in 2025. The misspelling is part of the charm? I guess so. I guess. An email coming in from Shelby in Western New York. Hello, Shelby. Hi, Shelby in Western New York. She says about the $50 per pickle per life or $1 million deal. You got to choose one or the other. She says pickles aren't bad for you as long as they don't contain sugar. I intermittently fast every day, sometimes a week at a time, sometimes 42 hours every other day. We drink bone broth and pickle juice. It's essentially you maintain your electrolytes and it has enough salt to make up for what you don't get through your food. I lost 85 pounds by intermittent fasting. You could buy pickle juice on Amazon and pickle juice popsicles. So I vote for popsicles every day, says Shelly in Western New York. Thank you, Shelly in Western New York. Crystal emails the show, and she says, me, listening to Wednesday's episode of the show, gets to the DuckTales part, me, all caps, son of a bitch. I don't blame you, Crystal. That is a earworm if there ever was one. Hey, one thing we could talk about real quick. I got a new thing, all right? I watched Spider-Man Brand New Day, enjoyed it. I'd say like Rotten Tomatoes score, I'd say like 71. Okay? 7 out of 10. Rotten Tomatoes score 71. It was a good movie. It was fun. It was fun to watch. I like that they have Punisher in it, right? You guys, a lot of you guys remember Punisher. A lot of you guys in particular remember Punisher from being young. It was a cartoon thing when we were being young. And now Punisher is something else entirely, isn't it? Now Punisher for ladies is a red flag only underneath the person having a bunch of stickers of the Joker on their car. Right? But there's something about the guy who played Punisher that we have to talk about. All right, we're going to get into this in just a moment here. We'll see if we can work it all into this segment. Pass. I don't watch anything under 95 on Rotten Tomatoes. Courtney used to go like, we were only going to watch these top-rated things, but there would be like 4 reviews. It'd be like Rotten Tomatoes, 99. 4 reviews. It was fucking terrible. It was like they're family members. All right, stand by. We're coming back.
Like mine. Those are powerful words. My.
Download the free iHeartRadio app, search Math and Magic, and listen now.
Win $25,000 in free impact windows from Reese Windows. Text TRUST to 20129.
Real Radio has your chance to win $1,000. Just enter this nationwide keyword on our website. Bonus. 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 Enter it now at realradio.fm and answer your phone if you get the call. Good luck.
Where common sense meets complete nonsense. This is the News Junk.
This is weird. Very, very weird. Celine, I can't see on my monitor. I need to see your beautiful face. Otherwise, I just it's not the same. There. Oh, look at him. What a cutie.
Hey there.
There he is.
Thank you. Good. I needed that.
You look fantastic in there. Your knees are embarrassing and all bruised and bandaged, but your face is still adorable. Still like a teddy bear. You know what I mean?
My kid kept trying to kiss him. The band-aids. Yeah. Daddy, I'll kiss your boo-boo.
That's adorable. Mm-hmm. That is adorable. He feels bad for you. He's embarrassed that you fell.
He probably is.
Bruce, they're now saying in chat that they don't have any C-Lane in their monitor either. There you go. Now if you're watching over on YouTube or twitch.tv/the News Junkie, you can see. So we watched this Spider-Man Brand New Day over the weekend along with 8 billion other people. And a lot of stuff came up around this. But one thing that came up was in the movie, I'm not going to spoil anything here for you at all, but in Spider-Man Brand New Day, one of the main characters is Punisher. And it was interesting watching Courtney's take on Punisher. And I think she's exactly right about this, all right? When I was young, Punisher was kind of the cool character in comic books. If you were a guy and you wanted to be cool, you didn't really care about Batman. Batman was kind of nerdy at the time, still kind of is a little bit, save for some portrayals. I see you, Nolan, in the Batman world. Spider-Man was like, whatever. But if you wanted to be kind of edgier or cool, you liked Punisher, Ghost Rider, or Deadpool, right? Those are the ones that you liked because those were the edgier characters. And I liked that they had a little more edginess in this new Spider-Man movie that was almost the biggest movie ever this weekend, just under Avengers Endgame for its opening weekend, without any IMAX screens as well. And the Punisher is in this, and Courtney goes, oh, she goes, the Punisher is that skull logo. And she said, that's a red flag for me. And it's just under like a guy who's obsessed with the Joker. And I said, well, there's a lot of truth to that. If there's a guy, ladies know this, if there's a guy with too much Joker stuff on his car or like somehow in his life somewhere, if he's got a Joker wrap on his vehicle, I hate to say this.
Are you talking about somebody specific?
I'm not talking about Joker Gang or old friend.
No,
I'm just saying,
I don't know the person.
Yeah,
but like a regular at a bar that would stand out to you. Mm-hmm. There is a vehicle that drives around my area that is completely wrapped in Joker.
That's a red flag.
And it says like, why so serious?
Yeah. You're like, you're a grown-ass adult. It's a grown man, right? Look, it's a grown man driving a car with Joker all over the place. Why so serious? And you're like, okay, your obsession with this character is indicative of probably some personality traits that some people are not going to like. And Courtney goes, Punisher is number 2, right behind the Joker. Like if a guy has too many Punisher skeletons and stuff.
I'm not as familiar with the Punisher as a character, just because I haven't seen. First of all, never read much. Despite working at a comic book store, never read much comics at all in my life.
Mm-hmm.
So I haven't really seen a lot of movies with Punisher in them. However, I know that skull logo, I think, is a pretty common tattoo.
Yeah,
and like the bigger the Punisher tattoo, you go, all right, you wanted that. Pretty big.
I know some military people have co-opted it, and that's fine. Like if you want, like, you know, I'm a military guy, and here's the symbol I'm going to put. People put Salt Life if they're into fishing, and I'm going to put that because I'm a military person. I mean somebody who just like starts covering their stuff in Punisher things. And the more of it that there is, the more you're like, I don't know. Joker is worse. And I'm sure you guys have other things like that. If somebody's obsessed with it, you go, oof. Immediately it's a tell about their personality. Like if a person's obsessed with this thing, one thing, and this is a sneaky one. A lot of you guys aren't going to know what to make of this, but if you know somebody that is very obsessed, like will not stop talking about it, is very obsessed with the movie Old Boy, run. Okay? Run in the other direction as fast as you possibly can. That is one of the indicators that this person is a little bit weird. Little bit crazy.
Is that a green flag for me that I don't even know what Old Boy is?
I think it is, yeah. I think that's...
we talking 2003 or 2013?
I don't know which one's which, but it's a movie that the people who are obsessed with it usually end up falling into this category where it says more about their personality. It's one of those movies where if somebody obsesses over it, it's like, uh-oh. There's a lot of people that have these kind of things that they're giving off. Somebody says American Psycho is like that. Meep. I don't know. I mean, that it's at least an okay movie.
Yeah, but I've not like found people to be. I haven't seen that as a red flag. Like, oh, this person really likes American Psycho. I don't see it a lot. However, there have been people that I have found to be obnoxious online and have gotten into fights with that are obsessed with American Psycho, and so it's like doing like a reverse kind of stigma on me.
Maybe they're right. Maybe I haven't picked up on that. Somebody says WTF is Old Boy. If you don't know what it is, you're better off. Just stay away. Some people really like the movie, and I'm not coming down on the movie. I'm coming down on
Spike
fans. Lee. No, not Spike Lee.
So the Korean one.
The Korean one, yeah, the Korean movie Old Boy. If you find some like Western weeb obsessed with this,
2003.
I know that's not a weeb, but you know, be easy on me. That movie is one of them where it's like, and you guys are probably gonna have other ones you could toss in like this, but there are things. Punisher, I think, is definitely one of them. And I saw the Punisher guy this weekend. It was a USA Today article. John Bernthal he's on top of his game right now. He was in Walking Dead, he's in The Odyssey, and he's in Spider-Man: Brand New Day. Like, you won this year. You got you and Tom Holland and Zendaya. Zendaya, you guys win 2026 already. Congratulations. Super talented people. But you end up walking into a bunch of dumb stuff when you start talking too much, I guess.
He was also, when we talked about John Bernthal last week or the week before, and Peisenberg had reminded me of this, he was in The Bear, but only like 7 episodes, and they're all flashbacks because he was the brother that took his life that started the story of the bear. Like,
that's true.
He kind of like got the ball rolling for everything as far as the storyline goes. So while his character is very important to the story of the bear, the fact that he's not in it is kind of the main thing. And so he was only in 7 episodes of the 5-season run.
Yeah. So he seems nice. I'll be honest with you. Don't come at me on this one. I don't know too much about him. He seems kind of dopey, which is okay. I mean, he's just an actor. Like, you know, actors are allowed, they don't have to be the smartest people on the planet. They're very skilled at what they do. Is great as the Punisher. He was great in these other roles that we're talking about. But John Bernthal doesn't strike me as the smartest guy. You know what I mean? Don't really care about his thoughts on like deep world issues and stuff. He doesn't strike me as an incredibly bright guy. He strikes me as a fun guy, which is great. Don't get me wrong. It's great. It's fine. It's great. But
you're not going to sit down at the bar with him and go like, "Hey, John Bernthal, Tell me what you think about Gaza.
Yeah, I'm not going to do that. And maybe he knows a lot about this, but he doesn't strike me as that guy. However, he was talking about pit bulls, and the USA Today said, if you, John Bernthal, the guy who's Punisher in the new Spider-Man and in the Odyssey, said if you're scared of pit bulls, it's just racism. It's just dog racism, he said. It's just dog racism, he says. To be afraid of a breed of dog is completely ridiculous. It's like being afraid of somebody for their race or their sexual orientation. It's completely ridiculous. Look, if a pit bull bites you, it's going to suck, but they're no more likely to bite you than a Chihuahua or another breed. I don't want to get into pit bull talk, but that's the kind of dumb stuff where it's like, hey, if you're scared of pit bulls, you're being dog racist. It's a weird take. Like, I don't know what to make of that. I will only tell you if there was somebody who told me, like, I'm careful around pit bulls, or I'm careful with my child around pit bulls. I'd be like, okay, I've met a lot of great pit bulls, a lot of great pit bull owners. But if you are a little more hesitant around that because of anecdotal situations where pit bulls were more aggressive and you don't have good experiences with them, you're not dog racist. You're just being smart, you know?
Yeah.
Your past is prologue, right? So your situation is something you should learn from. And if you want to think that pit bulls are another breed or ones that you like to stay away from, that's totally fine. It's pretty dopey to say something's dog racist.
So John Bernthal is trying to say that, like, you could just take what people say about pit bulls and just plug in another race because they're basically saying racist things?
Yeah. If you are against pit bulls, or you're fearful of pit bulls, you are a dog racist. You are a dog racist. I'm sure there's somebody out there that doesn't like Cavalier King Charles Spaniels. I think you're crazy. My experience with them is great. But if you had...
I walk to the other side of the street when I see them.
And when you see Lady over there, like, hey. If I saw somebody who was like, yeah, I knew somebody who had one of these and it bit me 3 times and it's made me wary of them, I'd be like, fine. It's make you dog racist. It's weird as hell. But I guess he was saying that to the USA Today, right? Or that was in an article in the USA Today, at least. We'll see what you think about that. We're going to take a quick break. When we come back, we've got the hot sheet on the way. We got an interview at the top of the hour, so let's try to stay on time for all of that. Much more on the way. It's all coming up next on the News Junkie.
Real radio is the Jim Colbert Show.
The topic of the story says science suggests cringeworthy dad jokes may serve a real purpose.
Why does Snoop Dogg always carry an umbrella?
I don't know.
Fodra.
There it was. Look at that. Only 3 people on the gifter board for the month. Let's get that changed. Okay? Thanks to Tom, Cat BH, and Ryan so far. Okay. What are we doing here? Oh, we're going to do the hot sheet, and then we have our interview with a very smart person about some very smart things, but it's going to be interesting. Is Iran hacking the water supply in the United States of America? The U.S. water supply has been hacked, I kid you not, in various cities across the United States of America. All right? And they believe that Iranian hackers may be behind this. I'm trying to figure out, and that's why we're going to talk to her, when they say Iranian hackers hacked the water plants, do they mean something actually dangerous, or do they mean what I think they mean, which is there's like water plants that they're remotely trying to keep track of, and then they use like default passwords on some of the technology, and then somebody very easily gains access to it and slightly inconveniences people? Or do we mean like Iran could sabotage our actual lives in some way remotely through the hacking? We're going to find out at the top of the hour with our interview. No, but white people saying purebred doodles are over themselves? Poodles can be aggressive. Here's the point, and this is like such a dopey talking point, I have to knock it down. When people respond with chihuahuas, pit bulls, it's pretty simple, right? a Chihuahua is obviously nowhere, to everybody with a brain, you, me, everybody, a Chihuahua is nowhere near as dangerous as a pit bull. Because when I think about my fear of a thing or an animal, I'm weighing the aggression of the animal very high with Chihuahuas, right? But then the physicality and physical threat and danger of the animal very low with Chihuahuas. Then if I go over to pit bulls, I'll be like aggression among pit bulls, maybe a little above the middle, with the aggression level of pit bulls. Some of them higher because of their owners and the way they raise the pit bulls. But the potential physical danger to you from a pit bull is so much higher than a Chihuahua that nobody with a brain thinks that Chihuahuas are more dangerous than pit bulls. You know what I mean? And so if there is a hierarchy of danger, which there obviously is, you would put pit bulls much higher up than you would Chihuahuas. If I said to you, there's an angry Chihuahua across the street on this side or an angry pit bull across the street on this side, you have to walk towards one. 100% of you are walking toward the Chihuahua. That's how you know that you don't think pit bulls are less dangerous than Chihuahuas. Pit bull people calling in from Lake County now? Yeah. Maybe. False? What's false? What's false? What's false about that? Chihuahuas are ankle biters at best. Pits can be killers. Well, it's just about the physical danger posed to you from something. Like every animal has a different level of physical danger that it poses to you. Pit bulls are very strong. They can be slightly aggressive, depending on how they were raised and depending on how their temperament is. But they are built for being a warrior dog. Same thing with German Shepherds. German Shepherds, Dobermans, Rottweilers, My multi-poo Bichon, whatever the hell. Oh, is it Bichon Frise? Beat the S out of me multiple times. I'm taking my chance with a pit bull. Bullshit, Danny. Bull. You're not. There's no shot. You're not. That's cope. You're not. No. That's not true. Pit bulls kill more people than all other breeds combined. We don't have to get into pit bull talk. What is the dog humping video? All right, hot sheet coming up just a moment. Then we got our interview after that. We'll talk about Lollapalooza. We got this pick a side. Clips galore. All right, we're coming back live on the show. Let's get some more names on that leaderboard. Hit the gift icon over on thenewsjunkie.com.
Stations, free playlists, podcasts, and more. Download the free iHeart app today. iHeartRadio.
I move mountains for a living. Literally. That means I don't carry hand lotion, and when it comes to serious heartburn, I don't mess around with anything but Rolaids Max Strength. Its dual-active formula has 1,500 milligrams of calcium carbonate and magnesium hydroxide that relieves heartburn fast. And the best part? The roll fits right here in my pocket, so I can get back to moving mountains.
Rolaids spells powerful relief. 1,500 milligrams is our highest amount of antacid per tablet. Read each label. Use as directed. Keep out of reach of children.
This portion of the News Junkie is brought to you by that mortgage guy, Don.
Don't miss the boat. Compare your quote with that mortgage guy, Don.com. Radio. Radio. 104.1.
Send him your tips and your deepest, darkest secrets. Email tips
Watch the show. We're just getting started here. YouTube.com/The News Junkie. YouTube.com/The News Junkie. Welcome in on a Monday. The hot sheet is just moments away. I don't know if Celine's going to be covering Lollapalooza at all. Did you see any of that this weekend?
Barely. No, I wanted to tune in for some Smashing Pumpkins, but when I got to the live stream and realized they were on, I checked setlist.fm, and they had already played all the songs that I like by them. Like every Smashing Pumpkins song I know, save for maybe one.
Did you see the crowd, though? How many people?
No.
Wait, if it was your favorite band, would you be in this crowd? Look real quick before the hot sheet. Look, here's just a scan from the Lollapalooza people. It's like this sea of human beings. Like, could you just imagine just any random point in the middle of here just being a person in there? It does not seem like a great experience.
I don't know that I have the desire to do that kind of crowd anymore.
There's so many people. How many of them are pooping right now? There's so many people. We know what they do at concerts these days. That was in Chicago for Lollapalooza, streamed this weekend. Looked like they were having fun, but I don't know if you could get me in the middle of that crowd. Let us know what you think. Right now, let's do the hot sheet.
Check the hot sheet. It's news, but not like real important news.
Best investigative reporting on the planet.
The top stories from the people on your screens and speakers are on the hot sheet with C-Lane.
That's right. The top 5 stories in the nonsense news brought to you by that mortgage guy, Don. And guys, you know, I know some of you people out there think, America's not that great anymore, you know?
Well, losers.
You could have it so much worse. You could be in Soviet Russia where they're cracking down on porn, Sean.
Uh-oh.
Huge crackdown. They're calling it Putin's porn crackdown, and I don't know if that's because whoever wrote this likes alliteration or they were referring to the fact that Putin himself is spearheading this operation. But a Russian OnlyFans star has dodged prison but been fined 45,000. Is that euros or pounds? I think it's euros. 45,000. How many is that in the USD?
45,000 euros is probably like 50,000 bucks or something, I think.
Yeah. Handed a 3-year ban from the internet completely. Sofia Vershinina, 21 years old, convicted of producing and distributing explicit. Yeah, she was an OnlyFans star.
Oh, okay. All right.
So just because she was putting herself out there on the internet, a Moscow court convicted her of producing and distributing explicit online videos. She's been ordered to pay the 45 large. She's also been barred from appearing online, using the internet, or from running her digital business for 3 years in a massive blow to her income. Russian prosecutors say she was earning 6 figures plus from selling X-rated videos and sold intimate content on Telegram Messenger when living in an elite Moscow skyscraper business.
Damn.
So they could be going after your porn if you wanted to, move overseas because it's so much better.
Yeah, God almighty. At least give the guys the adult content, for God's sake. They're shoving them over to war nonstop, and they're dying off. I mean, what are they going to do for fun over there before they go to war? God almighty.
Meanwhile, in the States, if you were holding your breath for the sequel to the hugely successful Barbie movie, well, it's stalling a bit. When a movie makes more than $1.4 billion at the box office and earns 8 Academy Award nominations, the studio's going to want to make a sequel, such is the case with Barbie. But time is running out for the studio to put Margot Robbie back in pink. A new report from the New York Times reveals that Warner Brothers Discovery CEO David Zaslav is stalling because he doesn't want to approve bigger salaries for Ryan Gosling and Margot Robbie.
Oh, I think you might. Yeah, if you're going to do a second one, you have to have them, right?
Yeah.
You got to pay them. What do you want? What are you going to do?
He balked at giving the actors rich deals with profit participation for a second film. Gosling was nominated for Best Supporting Actor for his role as Ken, is angling to raise his pay to $20 million. A Warner Brothers spokesman notes that there was never an agreed-upon framework that was approved and pulled back. In a rare move, Warner Brothers didn't require the stars to commit to sequels, as they only signed a 1-movie deal to land Greta Gerwig as the film's director. Barbie had like a bunch of false starts over the years and trying to get that movie made, but now he doesn't want to approve the bigger salaries. And I think the problem that they have on the horizon is that the rights to Barbie are going to expire at some point.
Really?
So they need to make the sequel while they still have the rights to it, or else they're not going to be able to do it at all. So, but if you want to see that,
don't be surprised that the main people in that movie are going to want a lot more money because they know what you're going to get out of it.
Well, of course. It was a huge hit. What did I say? 1.4 billion just a second ago? All right. There's a little bit of problems on tour for this band. All right, yeah.
Oh, I know this. We all float on Modest Mouse.
Yeah, Modest Mouse. They have booted guitarist Simon O'Connor from the upcoming North American tour because he was accused of sending inappropriate messages to a teenage fan. The indie rock band announced Friday that O'Connor, who's in his 40s, will not join them on the road beginning Tuesday in California. The good news is that they got somebody already jumping in to play guitar, but on July 26th, O'Connor was accused by a Reddit user who identified themselves as a 17-year-old fan of sending them an erotic image and commenting on their bikini pics on Instagram via direct message.
I just saw the pic that he sent the person, apparently. It's this one. It's a very large, muscular black man.
We know that guy.
Yeah,
rest in peace.
Oh, that's right. That guy did die. Yeah.
That was the erotic image?
This was it. He sent the photo of this guy. It's a famous shock photo of a naked, muscular black man. And then the person said, I'm going to assume that you've been hacked. LOL. Have a good one. I love your music.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So he won't be on tour with them anymore. The user posted a series of screenshots of their alleged conversations on the social platform, said they were 16 at the time of the interaction, and had their date of birth listed on their Instagram profile. The user responded by suggesting O'Connor's account had been hacked. Wish I was hacked, just had a party last night and looking at everything with one eye, O'Connor allegedly replied. Even gave him an out, and he didn't take it. Scientists have done the good work here. They've revealed the most scientifically accurate volcano movies ever made. What do you think was at the top of the list of all the volcano movies, the most scientifically accurate?
Oh, man. I don't even know that many volcano movies. Does Joe versus the Volcano have an actual volcano in it?
Joe versus the Volcano came in second for least accurate.
Oh, damn. I don't know. What's the most accurate?
So it's so funny. The most accurate and the least accurate were same year, within weeks or months of each other. They said the most accurate was Dante's Peak with Sarah Connor, Linda Hamilton, the actress that played Sarah Connor, and I believe James Bond, one of the James Bonds. And then the least accurate, which was about the same year, they were released almost together, was Volcano with Tommy Lee Jones. Krakatoa, The Final Days, and Pompeii, The Last Day were also among the most accurate volcano movies, according to the scientists. Good guy Kendrick Lamar surprised a 7-year-old dog attack victim with a birthday call over the weekend.
Uh-oh.
Was that the call?
It might have been. I don't know. That wasn't me. Was that you?
It was one of my other.
I just thought you were bringing up dogs again, and we might head back to the.
Well, this is going to start some more dog racism, but just buckle up. It says a boy lost both his arms in a dog attack earlier this year. Kendrick Lamar surprised the boy with tried to get Kendrick Lamar to attend his birthday party, but instead he got a phone call and got to speak with him directly over video.
Aww.
Kendrick asked, "What's up, man? How you feeling?" And the kid said, "How the hell do you think I'm feeling? I don't have any arms."
That's the greatest quote of 2026, I think, already.
I just made that up. I mean, that would have been great. He's a 7-year-old kid, but it would have been very clever. It's New Music Monday. Ariana Grande and Opus Kink have new albums. Also, Lucia and the Best Boys. Lil Uzi Vert has a new single with Maverick, Almost Forever EP. That's not just a single, that's a whole EP. And then Robin, the pop star Robin, who kind of goes in hiding for many, many years at a time. And she's got Talk to Me, the remix, plus Shabuzi and Kehlani with Bullets and Blades. Hey, if you are in a renting situation, throwing away your money, it's time to get in a house. The mortgage guy, Don, wants to help you get into that first home with a mortgage. You got a mortgage quote, you go to him. He will shop it around for you. Make sure you're getting the best rate, because if not, you might be leaving money on the table. Hit him up at his website, thatmortgageguyDon.com.
Don't miss the boat, compare your quote with thatmortgageguyDon.com.
One of the craziest stories over the weekend is Iran hacking our water plants, our water systems in the United States. It's crazy, but there might be something to this. We'll figure out exactly what's happening with an expert. That's coming up next on the News Junkie.
Your chance to win $1,000 in your hand is minutes away on Real Radio 104.1. Brought to you by Mills Air.
From the Clausman Law Traffic Center, car crash, call Clausman Law. ClausmanLaw.com.
There's a couple accidents to look out for on a Popka.
Hello. Welcome to the show. All right, we got our guest, a very respected, smart, intelligent guest to talk about a very scary thing. Is Iran hacking the water systems in the United States of America? Should we be freaking out? Is this all over nothing? What other kind of things, like physical things, could adversaries of the United States hack? Power plants? Dams? What could happen? She knows. She's very, very, very plugged into this. Stand by. Brace yourself for it. Big one from Sun State John. Mega supporter Sun State John on the board with 13 gifted subscriptions. That's 4. That's 4. I want to see this thing filled out before the end of the show. Even if it's 1 or 2 or 3, gift and support the show over at thenewsjunkie.com or simply subscribe to a premium subscription starting at $2.99 on thenewsjunkie.com right now. Kevin says, I had a dog nip a kid on the cheek and his mom sued me for $65,000. When you say nip, how bad was this nip? C-Lane mentioned Ariana Grande, and I did want to throw it out there. How many of you have seen those photographs of Ariana Grande that have resulted in her saying she's stepping back from public life? She's going to step away from the spotlight. There's too much public judgment going on of her appearance. Ariana Grande is saying, I've got to get away from all of this. And she said she's stepping back. And we'll talk about this a little bit later, but I saw a take on this that compared it to the trolley problem. The trolley problem is like you're a person who is watching a train come down the tracks, all right? And the train is about to go to a fork in the tracks. And if it goes the natural way that it's going to go, the train is going to run into 15 people and kill them all. If you intervene and switch the tracks, the train is going to go off onto a separate track and only kill 3 people. And you have to make the moral judgment of, is it right for me to intervene and less people die? Or should I let nature take its course and let the train kill more people and watch them die? And they compared Ariana Grande's situation to the train car. And they suggested, if we leave Ariana Grande alone and don't say anything about how deathly skinny she looks and how she looks ill and she might have an eating disorder, then Ariana Grande stays going down the tracks and an entire generation of young women thinks that this is maybe a healthy thing to look up to. And it does untold damage. However, if you intervene and do something, you then look like you are judging her based on her looks and you're some sort of monster for commenting on her appearance. It's a little weird. Watch her new video. I didn't see that. She admitted she has self-image issues. Not only does she have, I don't know. It would appear that she has image issues and some eating disorder issues. But not only does she have that, there's actively somebody on her team that seems to be utilizing these photographs as a way to promote her, to stir up conversation about how thin she is, purposely releasing photographs where she's as bony and vacuous looking in her body as she possibly could be. That's not by accident. Not at all. That's something that I think is being intentionally done by her team, which is weird, right? I feel bad for her to think she has to be that thin. It doesn't look, good. All right. Is Iran hacking our water supply? Let's go in with an expert here. This woman is very, very, very skilled at this, so let's see what we can learn.
So I can get back to moving mountains.
Rolaids spells powerful relief. 1,500 milligrams is our highest amount of antacid per tablet. Read each label. Use as directed. Keep out of reach of children.
For all your plumbing needs, go to modernpi.com.
Live from the JustCallMo.com studios. Got a question after an accident? Just call Mo. Visit JustCallMo.com or dial 1-800-CALL-MO. This is WTKS-FM HD1 Cocoa Beach, Orlando. An iHeart radio station. Guaranteed human.
Real Radio has your chance to win $1,000. Just enter this nationwide keyword on our website. Check. 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 Enter it now at realradio.fm and answer your phone if you get the call. Good luck.
Radio 104.1.
Send him your tips and your deepest, darkest secrets. Email tips at the...
We'll find out in a moment. We're lucky to have an amazing guest here lined up. This doesn't happen very often for us on this show. I'm just going to be real with you. C-Lane, you know as well as I do, the very smart people tend to avoid this show, right? The folks who can actually help us out to figure out what's going on. They're
probably because they're smart.
Yeah, they're like the news junkie. I don't know. So I see this story. It's all over the place this weekend. The New York Times, here's one example of it that I'm looking at. It says, the United States sees Iran as likely behind a cyber attack on Minnesota water systems. And there was a lot of buzz out there about different cities that thought that their water supply was being hacked, and possibly that water supply was being hacked by maybe Iranians. Obviously, we're at war with Iran. There's a lot going on in that world. But we don't know how to work our way through a story like this. I don't know who's telling the truth and who's not. So let's welcome an expert on the topic. Annie Fixler. Annie, are you with us?
Hi, good to be with you.
There she is. Annie, first of all, tell people a little bit about who you are, what you do, how you know about this kind of stuff, if you don't mind.
Sure. So I work at a think tank in Washington, D.C. We do national security and foreign policy research, and we have a team that looks at cybersecurity issues, cyber policy issues, critical infrastructure resilience. And so we've been closely watching threats to critical infrastructure. And as you noted, we're at war with Iran, and they pose cyber threats. And so this is an evolving and concerning story.
So the thing that we're looking at here is there are people, hackers somewhere, possibly on behalf of Iran, who are hacking actual places in our real life. And what are the big fears there? Obviously, we're talking about water systems here. Could they hack a water system and do something so that it would actually affect the quality of the water?
That's certainly the concern. The way they have been attacking these systems is deep in what's called operational technology. It is the computer systems that control physical processes. So right now we've seen them in places that are monitoring water quality and some limited operations. We haven't yet seen them touch systems that would affect quality. So we're not seeing, we're careful to caution people. This is not about hackers poisoning your water system. But the threat is real, and there's a real concern that could be a future problem. So securing these systems so that can't happen is of critical importance.
I heard a couple of people talking about this. Tell me if this is true or not. I heard somebody saying in stories like this, what you find often is, this is Minnesota, and it's about the water systems possibly being hacked by the Iranian hackers and stuff. But sometimes I have heard that they got like some monitoring software that's set up so they don't have to drive all the way out to a water facility and check levels and see stuff. And the monitoring software that they have set up maybe is not very secure and has like the default password. And when they gain access to it, it doesn't take brilliant level hacker man knowledge. It's kind of basic, but they're just looking in the right places. And then they can't really necessarily impact the quality of the water that you're drinking, but they can inconvenience the people who are operating those. Is that what is happening here, or is it is it worse than that?
That's what's happening right now. And so, yes, it's 100% an accurate description of what's going on. They are getting into systems that are remotely monitored. So you don't have a human in walking your water lines anymore. You have remote monitoring. So you have one person who's miles and miles away keeping track of what's going on. Mm-hmm. So the hackers are getting into those systems because, as you said, they've got default passwords, or some of them don't have passwords at all.
Yikes.
Password is password.
Yeah, it's bad. And so, you can do a search and figure out what's connected to the internet. And so that's what they're doing. There's a similar to a Google search. It's called a Shodan search. Mm-hmm. And you can identify pieces of equipment that are connected to the internet. And if you identify a piece of equipment and you know what its default password is, because there are manuals out there so that people can configure their systems, they're supposed to then change the default password. But if they don't, then a hacker can use that password and get in. So they are affecting the monitoring of the system. They are not affecting chemical composition at this stage.
Okay.
Again, I want to caution that could happen. That's not what's going on right now.
When you say chemical composition, though, like, does that mean one of the concerns is that, Sean talked about facilities that are monitoring water, but there are also facilities that treat the water. And so is one of the concerns that, like, hey, we put in a trace amount of this chemical to make sure the water is clean. However, if you were to, type in the default password and say we want, 50 times the amount of that chemical, is that kind of the down the road concern, is that they could over treat the water, or even, under treat it would be a problem too, but I would think that over-treating would be a big concern as well.
Right. That's the kind of thing we're concerned about, is if you were to affect the chlorine levels, right? You want a little bit of chlorine to kill bacteria. Mm-hmm. You don't want a lot of chlorine. So it's that sort of
kill my
system
eyes.
That are,
yeah.
And so there was an incident about 5 years ago at this point in Oldsmar, Florida. Some of your listeners may remember. Mm-hmm. I think it's still debated whether that was actually an outside job or an inside job. It's messy when it comes to cybersecurity incidents. But the concern at the time was that the hacker sort of went into the system and said, instead of 10 parts per million, I would like 10,000 parts per million.
Right.
So that could dramatically, affect and really poison water supply.
I remember this. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's that kind of thing. Again, that's not what's precisely happening here.
No, they got people down in Oldsmar. They wear shirts that said Oldsmar was an inside job. It's all the time.
I'm not getting into that one.
It's a grand conspiracy. Okay, let's get into I like how you're being even-handed and how you're handling all of this. But let's get into sort of worst case scenario here. A lot of times when people think about hackers from Russia, hackers from Iran, hackers from China, wherever, some adversary to the United States of America, they think about them hacking websites or, maybe bank accounts or some things like that. But in this case, we're talking about infrastructure. What would be, Annie, the nightmare situation? Are we talking nuclear power plants? Or like what would be the nightmare situation that they could hack into?
Look, if you want to stick on water, it's wastewater. If you dismantle, disable, corrupt the wastewater systems, you can make a city uninhabitable in a matter of hours, right? Like this is really serious stuff.
Yeah.
So like that's my real big scary scenario.
Like, give me an example of what could happen there.
Right. You're talking about cholera. Like it's that level of that kind of public health crisis. You got to get people out of a system where you can't pull sewage water out of a system.
Like they would somehow hack in and reroute sewage water to places where it was having that big of an impact.
Yeah, or just slow pumps or things like that, so you weren't pumping dirty water out of a system. precisely how it would work. Look, I'm not a wastewater expert. I'm not sure precisely how you would go in there and do it.
I also don't want you
to
to
wastewater expert.
I don't know if we need you to give the advice to the bad people who want to pull this off, right?
Right.
That might be
Let's not give them any ideas.
So a lot of people are saying, why are these things connected to the internet at all? If they just turned off the internet connectivity, then nobody would be able to hack into these things and we wouldn't have the worry. Is there a reason for that to be the case?
Yeah, we have connected all these devices to the internet because it's a lot more efficient if you have one person monitoring 70 sites as opposed to, 10 people each with 7, right? The more you can do remote monitoring, the fewer people you need to run a system. And so over the 90s and early 2000s, we digitized everything. We just also didn't install the security procedures and security controls that we should have installed at that time. And now we're seeing the result of that. So there's a way to do remote monitoring securely. It's just you need strong passwords, you need firewalls, multi-factor authentication, right? You want an operator to have to sort of jump through multiple hoops to make sure they're connected correctly, that not just any schmo with a computer can get there. You want the operator to have access and no one else. And the problem is we haven't installed those protections along the way.
What about things, Annie, like, your power grid or things as simple as like hacking into the street lights and these sorts of things? Has there been anything like that historically has happened that we should be worried that could be something that these nefarious hackers could do?
Sure. So I don't know if we specifically see in streetlights. I got to sort of rack my brain on that one, but we are seeing a lot of attempts to compromise the electric grid. 2 particular incidents come to mind. The first is late last year, Russia compromised a number of what are called distributed energy resources, renewable energy and things like that in Poland. And they actually were able to get into the system in such a way that they disrupted operation of those particular facilities, of the generation from those technologies. Luckily, it didn't crash Poland's electric grid, but it did have some significant impacts on the operation of those facilities. So sort of proven that it's possible. The other thing we've seen over the past couple of years is that China is, at least according to the U.S. intelligence community, pre-positioning capabilities to disrupt energy generation. So what that means is we're basically seeing hackers sitting on the network, but they're not sitting on the network in a place that would be useful from an intelligence perspective. They're sitting in a place in the network where if they wanted to flip a switch, they could cause a disruption. And so that is really concerning because we know they're there. We just don't know exactly everywhere where they are.
Well, with the story about the water plants being hacked around the United States, specifically in Minnesota, the New York Times having all these stories up, where is your internal alarm system? Are you on edge that there could be something big that happens where we go, oh, we haven't really been worried about hackers having such a physical impact on our lives, but we are do you think we're really close to that nightmare situation?
I don't know if we're close. I really hope this is the wake-up call, right? The story about China pre-positioning capabilities, that was 3-4 years ago at this point. Those of us in the cybersecurity world were sort of pulling our hair out, and it wasn't getting the level of sort of national attention that all of us thought needed to happen because nothing had gone boom, right? What's happening now is that we're actually seeing impacts. So I hope that what that means is that we start paying attention and we actually start securing these systems. So hopefully this is, canary in the coal mine sort of situation.
Yeah. I mean, that seems like the obvious thing to me. I hope there's people listening to you. I'm sure there are. Annie Fixler from the Foundation for Defense of Democracies, very smart. She knows about all things cyber technology and Iran and the cross section of all of those things brings us to a story like this. Thank you, Annie. I appreciate the time.
Thank you so much for having me.
All right, there she goes. And this is one of those things that people don't consider. You usually think about somebody hacking the whitehouse.gov website or taking that down. These if somebody hacks our sewage systems, our water systems, and has an impact on an entire city, people will be freaking out real quick, man.
That's gross.
Yeah, I don't even want to consider that. But she's talking about, and I think she's right to say it, you can make a place inhabitable in just a matter of, not even that much time. It's pretty crazy. So There we go. She was very nice to talk to. Annie Fixler, thank you for your time. Quick break. When we come back, we'll see what you think about all of this. We'll get to more details on that In-N-Out situation. One of my favorite stories of the day going to lead us off. We got to figure out what happened, and I need your help to do so. That is coming up next on the News Junkie.
Real Radio is.
The Monsters in the Morning.
Take it out of your end. Well, I'm already doing that. Everything is coming out my end.
Hey, yo.
Bottom line, we're all screwed. We're all screwed. They're going to hack our water supply. No, I mean, it seems like, why wouldn't the U.S. go, let's do a survey of all of our internet-connected infrastructure and either intensely secure it right now or take it completely offline so that there's no way anybody can hack into this. That's the craziest thing. Like I was saying to Annie, it's not about some hacker man who's so sophisticated that he knows how to brute force attack an encrypted, salted password. No, it's like the password is password. And nobody is caring about trying it because we don't want to sabotage ourselves in the United States. But these other countries will do that, right? Crazy. We rely on technology way too much and put too much faith in it. True. That'd be great. When will we have government staffed by competent professionals again? I mean, I don't think this is even like really a partisan thing. I think that every one of these facilities was just as ill prepared 4 years ago or 14 years ago as it is now. The only problem is more technology and more remote work and more things that you need to connect to across the internet is making it more vulnerable, I think. Y'all can be screwed. I have my own water supply. Nice. Can I get a little bit of that water supply? Stand by. Oh, let's talk about this real quick. Chat, before we get back to the drama and all the good stuff. How many of you have heard of the Zach Brown ban? Huh? YouTube, Twitch, TNJ chat, how many of you heard of the Zach Brown ban? They did 15 straight sold-out concerts at Fenway Park in Boston. That's not why I'm talking about it, but that's crazy. Chicken Fried, that's Zach Brown band. A little bit of Chicken Fried. They had a concert going on at Fenway Park in Boston last night. 37,000 fans showed up to see the Zach Brown band. They surprised them as they were performing the song Same Boat. And Zach Brown said, I'm buying every single person here a cruise for 2 people on the boat. Every single person here gets a cruise from themselves and a loved one to go on this boat. This is the biggest giveaway in history, ladies and gentlemen, here tonight at Fenway Park. They said, all in all, the total gifts of these folks who got a free cruise for 2 aboard Margaritaville at Sea cost the Zach Brown band and Zach Brown himself $40 million. $40 million. There's no way, right? 37,000 fans at Fenway Park. Zach Brown comes out during the performance and goes, every one of you is getting 2 tickets for a Margaritaville at Sea cruise. Does he have $40 million to just toss out like that? That's wild. $40 million? I mean, it must have been like, it would have cost $40 million, but Margaritaville at Sea gave them some unbelievable deal or whatever. Yeah, he's not paying all that. That's what I'm saying. There's no way Zach Brown is paying $40 million. There's no way, right? That's so crazy. Sean, are you going to talk about the woman who got kicked off the Orlando flight for preaching to the plane? You got a clip? Is there a clip of that, Vaughn Ripperton? I'd love to see it. Tips@thenewsjunkie.com. $1,000 per person is $37 million. Even half that price is $18 million. Known Badger says they gave them away for free to promote the cruise. There's no way Margaritaville gave that many away for free, right? I mean, that's crazy. Although I did work at a radio station one time where the host accidentally said to somebody, he's like joking around with them. The host takes the call, and these people had a great call, and he goes, you know what? We're going to give you a free, all expenses paid vacation to Mexico. And he was just kidding around. And the caller called the station and complained. And the station had to buy this guy and his entire family an all expenses paid trip to Mexico because the host had said they were going to. Big mistake, huge. Thank you, Cosidius, for the 15 months. Appreciate you. Let's fill out this gifting scoreboard. The leaderboard is a little shallow. Look at that. Only 4 names so far. Even one can get you up there to support the show. Go to thenewsjunkie.com now. We're coming back.
Live radio stations, playlists, podcasts, and artist stations all in one app. So if you haven't already, download the free iHeartRadio app. Free radio. Always has been, always will be. Now wherever you go.
iHeartRadio. Trajan Wealth, your trusted local fiduciary advisor. Visit TrajanWealth.com.
Real Radio has your chance to win $1,000. Just enter this nationwide keyword on our website. Check. 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 Enter it now at realradio.fm and answer your phone if you get the call. Good luck.
The biggest stories of the day in all their glory and insanity. You're listening to
No,
she's like, that was fun. Yeah.
She's like, that was fun. I had a good time. Like, good. Glad you had a good time. All right. Don't look at chat or anything because, you know, the people will get scared away sometimes. We don't want to scare the big brains away. It was interesting to hear that. I saw this weekend that story was out there about the water plants. And I was like, my guess is that this is not nearly as complicated. I kind of lied to her a little bit. I didn't hear a conversation. It was just, my guess was that this was about the interconnected systems where people were trying to monitor water levels and such from far away. And then there's just, people don't change the password. Even when it's like a water treatment facility, you're like, just change the password a little bit. Just like put $ signs in your S's or something. Just something to make it harder for Iranian hackers to hack into our water supply, please.
She did low-key tell me about a website I'd never heard of before, though.
Well, I heard her say like the way to search things that I didn't know.
Yeah, it's to search for internet-connected devices.
Are you searching internet-connected devices to hack? What are you hacking right now, man?
I haven't hacked anything yet, but I know the default password.
You guys heard that. He said yet. Did you hear, we were talking during the break, C-Line, did you hear about Zach Brown Band? You know them, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Did you have this in the hot sheet or no?
No, I did not.
Okay. Zach Brown Band played their 15th straight sold-out concert at Fenway Park in Boston last night.
Okay, no, I did. He did the Oprah thing, right?
Yeah. So there's 37,000 fans at Fenway Park, and Zach Brown Band guy comes out, and he says, I'm buying every single person here a cruise for 2 people on the Margaritaville at Sea cruise ship. Every person here, a cruise for 2 people. So 37,000 people were there, and they all get a +1. So that's 74,000 cruise line tickets on Margaritaville at Sea. He says every single person here gets a cruise for themselves and a loved one to go on the boat. This is the biggest giveaway in history, ladies and gentlemen, tonight at Fenway Park. And Zach Brown was working with Margaritaville at Sea to do this. It says, according to the band, the total cost of the gift is more than $40 million, all paid for by Zach Brown. No shot, right?
No shot. It's 100% paid for by Zach Brown.
Yeah, no shot is Zach Brown. I mean, I'm sure he's wealthy. He's done very, very well. He's got a huge fan base, a little bit of chicken fried, right?
Yeah.
We all know it. Cold beer on a Friday night. We know the song.
Mm-hmm.
But there's no shot he paid $40 million for everybody +1 to be able to go on Margaritaville at Sea. They must have cut him some crazy deal.
Yeah, they cut him a crazy deal. Or they footed part of the bill. I mean, I don't know if they said that this was like sponsored by anything, but I mean, I guess in execution of this giveaway, you would have to think that, all right, if somebody is sponsoring it, what's in it for them? Like, you know, are they putting their logo on the side of the cruise ship? So my only thing that I could guess would be that just the Margaritaville people cut him some insane half price or so deal.
Yeah. But even if it's half price, $20 million?
That's a lot just for
20?
To give everybody that went to your concert a cruise.
That's crazy. So I'd love to know what he really paid for them. But Zach Brown Band, 15 straight sold out concert at Fenway Park. They said he paid $40 million for everybody +1 to go on a cruise for 2 aboard Margaritaville at Sea.
If you think about it, it essentially makes the price of your cruise the half the price of your concert ticket.
Yeah.
So whatever you got your ticket for, as long as you got in the door, you have the ticket, you have the proof that you were there or whatever. I don't know how they're doing that or how they're authenticating people or how you even claim this prize. But I do know that the cruise is probably, I mean, Margaritaville's on the cheaper side, but probably more than the cost of most of the tickets to that show, maybe. Possibly.
Yeah, it depends on like how long of a cruise it is and a lot of stuff. But there's
this is minimum cruise, my man.
Yeah, it's like a really bargain basement cruise. Probably.
They'd be lucky to give them the casino boat route and just like take the Margarita at Sea out to international waters and then
Boot
back.
Cruise.
Just let them gamble a little bit and then come back.
Yeah, just for a couple hours. All right, let's go a 3-hour tour, if you will. Let's go over to this clip. 8.9 million views. Trump was talking about Japan on Air Force One. I hope we can hear him well because sometimes it gets a little rickety with the audio on Air Force One.
It's loud on Air Force One.
It is. I hope that we can hear him okay, number one. And he does love talking about Japan. He's a big Japan fan. But this is going pretty viral because of the way he put this. Here he is.
Mr. President, why is the U.S. intervening to support the Japan yen at this time?
I'll explain. Hang on.
To support the Japanese currency.
Because we have a good relationship with Japan.
All right. She said, why is the U.S. intervening to support Japan? The United States apparently is buying a bunch of Japanese currency to buoy their currency on international markets and help them in. So Trump's been asked, why are we doing this? Why are we buying Japanese currency to support it?
We're very strong, very, very strong financially. They have a weakening yen, and they wanted a little bit of help, and we're always there for Japan. Japan's been very good to us, with the exception, of course, of Pearl Harbor. They were not good.
He says, Japan's been very good to us, with the exception, of course, of Pearl Harbor.
Was not good.
Yeah, that part was not good. Just to clarify, although I would argue that was a while ago. That was a while ago. And I would also say, Trump, where you say like Japan's been very good to the United States, with the exception of Pearl Harbor. I would argue that they do have a pretty good claim for us not being fantastic to them in the direct aftermath of Pearl Harbor.
Yes,
the Japanese could say, "Hey, we've forgiven you for the old atomic bombs you dropped on us, so you could maybe get over the Pearl Harbor thing if you don't mind." That's what he's saying there on Air Force One. This doesn't count as back on a plane, does it? I don't think so. They're back on a plane.
Well, before we do that, though, is that it for that clip? Because I thought there was one more thing that.
Hang on.
That he says.
Oh, I can listen.
We're always there for Japan. Japan's been very good to us, with the exception, of course, of Pearl Harbor.
Of course.
They were not good.
What is the U.S. getting out of that arrangement?
Financial benefit. Financial benefit. It's also good for the world economy. But we make, like when we did with Argentina, I got criticized. We made $25 million.
I don't know if it's the same one.
What else do you say?
In one of these clips, he asked the reporter where they're from, and then they said ABC, and he says BBC, and she says no ABC. He goes, oh no, that's even worse. I like the BBC better, or something like that.
Does he know that?
Oh, that's it. You have it.
Yeah, right here. Okay, this is the clip Sealand's talking about. Let's see.
Great. Everybody wants help from our country.
You said the anti-weapon. I'm with ABC News. You said the
BBC?
ABC.
Oh, ABC. That's worse.
You said the
I
anti-weapon.
like BBC better than ABC.
Oh, he doesn't know. He doesn't know what BBC means, I don't think. Somebody tell him, please. Good God.
Mr. President, I don't know if you know what you just said.
Yeah, you're going to get memed into oblivion. Okay, let's see. I want to get to a couple of your dispatches, but I'm hesitant. And ahead of them, I'll very quickly tell you a story about a woman who's in trouble. And this woman had a wedding that was scheduled, all right? And they're trying to figure out why this woman did this, but I have some questions myself. So she was at a Church of Jesus Christ and Latter-day Saints in Kaysville.
So, right? Mormon.
Yeah, a Mormon church. And here's the headline. This is a true story, all right? This is real. It's from the Salt Lake Tribune. It says, she was set to get married. The night before her wedding, she used a tampon to set fire to the Utah church where she was going to get married, police say. And the story about this lady is crazy. A woman was arrested and accused of setting fire to a meeting house at the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints in Kaysville.
A hell of a way to let people know you got cold feet.
It is. Police say the 25-year-old stole a lighter and used a tampon to start a fire under a chair inside the venue the night before she was going to be married in the church. The woman from Wyoming was decorating the church with the groom and other family members that evening. The group was getting ready to leave for the night, and then the fire alarm went off. The group searched for flames and found a fire burning in the Women's Relief Society room, where somebody used water from some of the wedding decorations to help put it out. Another person used a fire extinguisher. During the investigation, they said the fire appeared to have been started under a chair that was stacked against other chairs along the wall. Under one of the chairs, there were some items out of the ordinary, including what appeared to be a tampon with the active applicator on the floor. The groom told police that he and the bride-to-be had gone to an Ace Hardware store earlier that day. They go to the Ace Hardware, they look at the camera footage, and they see his wife-to-be stealing 2 lighters and hiding them in her shoes. And she takes the lighters that she stole, and she goes to the church, and she tries to set the church on fire that she's going to be married at the next day. When the bride spoke with the cops, the officer wrote that she provided a different first and last name than her legal name and a different birthday than the day on her Wyoming-issued license. In an interview on Monday, she acknowledged stealing from the hardware store but wouldn't say what she took. She was asked about the lighter. She said she does not carry a lighter, does not smoke, nor would she need one. She was arrested today on suspicion of aggravated arson, being held without bail in the local jail. The officer who documented her arrest noted there were 5 others in the building when the fire took place. He said she was deceptive and continually took drastic steps to hide her lies. The bride, by the way, had not obtained a marriage license for her own wedding that was to occur the next day, but she lied to everybody saying that she had.
Yeah, well, you'd think that the groom would have known that. Now, I don't know if this is the same everywhere, or maybe she didn't tell the groom about this, but I had to be there to obtain my wedding license, marriage license. I think I even had to go back the second time because we lost the first one, so we had to go back and get it replaced.
Yeah.
So the groom should have known something was off if he had not taken part in obtaining any marriage license.
You want to talk about red flags? Run, okay? Run. This is the exact type of Casey Anthony type person that you need to run from as fast as you can. This is BPD on display, borderline personality disorder. Run.
But I mean, is that even a problem? She obviously doesn't want to be married to you. She tried to burn the church down.
Yeah.
This should
but
be
I think she tried to burn the church down to hide the fact that she didn't get the marriage license that she lied about.
Why?
I don't know. That's crazy.
I just think it's clear she doesn't want to be married to you, and she's willing to go through some extreme lengths. So I don't see it being a very difficult process to go, hey, we're done here. Sayonara. Good luck.
Yeah, that doesn't end the engagement, though. It sure should. Somebody calls it a menstrual Molotov. It's just true. That's true. All right, rate my blank for this week. Your distraction, if you'll play along, is to give us your best dad joke. We got to try not to laugh at all. We have not really laughed very much through the ones that we've received, but there are a ton of them. So we're going to work them in the rest of the show here. We'll get some of those on right before we do jury duty, which has details of the In-N-Out situation, an update on the THC drinks, an update on that is twofold. If you're interested in following that story, I got some new bombshell information and an email coming in. That's coming up next on the News Junkie.
Think, laugh, complain, confess. Whatever you do, it's guaranteed human. Might not be the best at being human, but whatever. Send your talkback message to Real Radio on the free iHeartRadio app.
This is NFL quarterback Rodney Peete, and here's what's trending on the iHeart Sports Network.
Presented by Lowe's.
6 p.m. East.
Hello. Welcome behind the scenes of the show. Commercials. We don't need no stinking commercials. We're officially in the month of August, everybody. One of the craziest stories of the weekend, we'll get to this in the beginning of jury duty, is they dropped the charges against this Olympian who they were holding on charges that he had damaged in a significant way the reflecting pool in Washington, D.C. They dismissed the charges, and in the dismissal of the charges, admitted that it was faulty construction that was to blame and that this guy didn't actually do anything. Brother, I would be suing the federal government if that was me. I would be suing the feds. Wasson, did you see the RFK CNN interview? I got that. I don't know if we'll work it in, but I've got it. More dispatches coming in. Thank you, Snob Wasson. I can't help but feel dad jokes are only funny and applicable to an in-the-moment scenario. We'll see. Maybe your mind has changed. Look at that sad leaderboard. We need more than 4 to fill it in. Spread the word. Gift at least one secret show subscription. Go to thenewsjunkie.com. Hit that gift icon. Fake news. So sad that Trump would rather jail an innocent American than admit to his blunder. I mean, first of all, the reflecting pool drama was the dumbest storyline that we had going in 2026. It's the dumbest thing ever. Did not need to be a thing. The people rooting against Trump, wanting the reflecting pool to fail, the people who legitimately were like poisoning the grass nearby, all this petty shit is dumb and embarrassing. But in a quest to out-embarrass them, the White House, with seemingly zero evidence, accused a man of sabotaging the reflecting pool. without any forethought into the potentiality that this was going to look really bad when you have to dismiss the charges. And then the charges are dismissed, and Trump goes full throat on the woman who dismissed the charges for not just giving him the outcome that he wanted. This guy's got a legitimate gripe against the federal government. That's crazy, man. That's crazy. Thank you for the 5 months, Funky Fresh. An Olympian, yes, true. Did Sean talk about the pool not being vandalized? That's what we're talking about now. Yeah, I've got the actual court case itself. Now, I don't care who you're a fan of politically. You shouldn't be a fan of any of these losers. I don't give a shit about any of these people. I think they're all cringe. I think some are more frightening to me than others. And, we can talk about that if you want to. But no matter what team you're on, if you're in the world of team politics, you should have a brain big enough and a streak of independence big enough to step back and go, bro, did you arrest this guy for nothing? Because your contractor, who is scared to tell you the truth, screwed up on the reflecting pool, and you threw people behind bars because of it? It's ridiculous. The entire process of redoing the pool, the entire move to redo the pool is embarrassing, but that won't get mentioned. I mean, I don't know. I'm not going to pretend that I know whether or not the reflecting pool was in need of resurfacing, whether or not it was a little bit worse for wear, and it would be a good job to do it. I'm not going to pretend to know whether that's the case or not. I don't think you know whether that or not that's the case. But if you're going to do it, get a contractor that's going to do a good job. And then when they don't do a good job, which apparently they did not, go after that contractor. Get them to right the wrongs. And don't go after rando Olympians in some quest to just pin this on somebody. That's dumb. 90 seconds and we're back live. Contractor, convict, what's the difference, Sunstay John says? You can't get more patriotic than an Olympian? Oh, I don't know. An Olympian's not patriotic just by default, are they? There's plenty of Olympians who probably hate the United States, but just for selfish reasons want to go out and win some medals or something. I mean, I get what you're saying, but I don't know if that's just true by default. All right, here we go. I got the ransom notes in the Nancy Guthrie case as well, and the THC drink update. That is very surprising. Have you heard? At least to me. We'll see what you think. Did the pool really need to be fixed? I don't know, and I don't think I've seen anybody touch this with as unbiased a hand as I'd like to say that the whole thing was useless or not. It's all very, very, very political. Here we go.
Limited availability in select areas.
Teachers make a difference each and every day. Now's your chance to say thanks. iHeartRadio's Thank a Teacher, powered by Donors Choose. Nominate an outstanding public school teacher who goes above and beyond for students. They could be one of our $5,000 winners for classroom supplies and resources. Teachers give so much. Now it's our turn to give back. Nominate a teacher now at iHeartRadio.com/teachers.
This earful of Real Radio is brought to you by crimeline.org. Give a tip anonymously.
Real Radio 104.1.
When good things go bad, bad things make headlines. This is the new.
Some big drama in jury duty. Stand by. And then, good God, the Rate My Blank entries are piling up. We'll get to your Rate My Blank dad jokes. I don't know if any of these are going to work. I don't know how this is going to go this week, but we're going to see how it goes as we roll along here a bit on the show. Maybe one of them will work and make us laugh, and then that one's the winner. I have no clue. I don't know. But I know so far they have been duds. And if C-Lane, again, can guess your punchline before you get to it, then you are not going to be up for the prize.
How chef's kiss was it that the promo that I was calling that guy out for actually aired later on in today's broadcast?
I heard that. Yeah. I think we might get more of those. If there's any other promos that they could steal from, they'll probably do that. And some of these are so bad. So bad.
What up, junkies? How you doing today? So here's your dad joke for you. Why was 6 mad at 7?
7, 8, 9.
Because 7, 8, 9.
See, immediately disqualified. C-Lane knew what the punchline was going to be. Here's.
I thought that was why 6 was afraid of 7.
Because 7, 8, 9, yeah. Here's Muff Mouth.
What's going down, junkies? So I asked my dad if he could explain to me what a solar eclipse was. And he said, no, son.
Okay. Here's FinFan.
What up, news junkie? Got one for you. These two blondes walked into a bar. You would have thought they'd seen it.
Okay. All right. We're just taking these in. We're taking these in. One.
I was afraid because, two blondes is a good start. It's might be a good one.
One more. Here's Rusty Nail.
I don't know if I'm submitting this dad joke right, but here goes. First dispatch ever also.
Jesus. Wow.
I told my doctor I broke my arm in 2 places. He told me to stop going to those places.
Yep. Yeah. Not new, not particularly great. Not going to make it into the finals.
The dad trope of, it hurts when I do this. Well, then don't do that.
Mm-hmm. We got to get better. We got to raise the bar here, all right? I want you to raise the bar in the final hour of the show right now. Let's do jury duty.
Court is now in session, so put your phone down and pay attention before we call the bailiff over to whip your ass. You're now on jury duty with the News Junkie.
Jury duty brought to you by the one, the only Mo DeWitt of the DeWitt Law Firm. Injured on the go? Just call Mo. 800-CALL-MO, 800-CALL-MO, or go to justcallmo.com. If you need an attorney, that's where you go. 800-CALL-MO, or go to justcallmo.com. Here we go. One of the things I saw was they ended up releasing the guy and dropping the criminal charges against the former Olympian David Hearn, who the federal government and the Trump administration accused of deliberately damaging the reflecting pool, the Lincoln Memorial reflecting pool, after it underwent a renovation. They're like, this guy did it, and they arrested him. And here's the craziest. Let me bring this up so those on the stream can see. Here's the government's motion to dismiss the charges against this guy. This dude should sue. You'll see why in a second. The United States of America, by and through its attorney, the United States Attorney for the District of Columbia, respectfully moves to dismiss the indictment in this case. This is the person they said destroyed the reflecting pool. For the reasons set forth herein, this case should be dismissed without prejudice pursuant to Rule 48 of the Superior Court Rules of Criminal Procedure. The United States submits as follows. This is the U.S. government. Based on the initial reports provided by the Department of the Interior and the U.S. Park Police, the United States Attorney's Office for the District of Columbia presented the grand jury with evidence that damage to the reflecting pool was caused by vandals, including the defendant, in this case, David Hearn. All right, that's where we were. We knew that there's like a dumb drama going on about the reflecting pool, and are they cutting it? What's happening? Are we
They
getting
used
ripped
a
on?
razor.
Yeah, they're like walked along with a razor, and they're blaming it on people. And then this is what they say in the court case when they asked to drop the charges against this Olympian guy. However, it was not until after the return of the indictment that the Department of Interior provided additional documents indicating that the damage to the Lincoln Memorial reflecting pool in June 2026 was the result of flawed installation by the contractor, Atlantic Industrial Coatings. and the rush to complete the project prior to the events associated with the America 250 celebration and the week surrounding Independence Day 2026. It was not until after these documents were produced that USAODC first became aware of the information showing the damage was a result of a botched installation and not vandalism as initially represented by the Department of Interior. So flat out, they're saying, like, we arrested people. We got grand jury indictments for people. We were talking about how these people have been arrested. And actually, the whole time, the contractor who was doing the reflecting pool was lying to us, and they botched the installation. Nobody actually cut it up. Nobody destroyed it. This guy that they charged with it didn't do anything.
I don't think we ever thought that he cut it up.
They said he cut it up. They charged
said
him.
He cut it up, but
Yeah.
I don't think I never thought he cut it up.
Bro, if I was an attorney that could take on a case of this size, I would think they had a pretty good case here. They just arrested this dude and charged him with cutting up the reflecting pool. And then I said afterwards, whoopsie. Actually, it was the people who were charging us millions and millions of dollars as taxpayers to do this work on the reflecting pool. And it wasn't actually the guy we arrested.
Not a good day for Atlantic Industrial Coating or whatever.
No. AIC, yeah. AIC having a bad day. On the Nancy Guthrie front, they finally released the 2 ransom notes in this case. Here they are. I'm going to read them to you. The first ransom note that came in was to KOLD News. This came in from the news tip form on their website. The first message from the kidnappers of Nancy Guthrie said, "Hello, Savannah. We have your mother, Nancy. She's safe but scared. She will be held for ransom, and once payment is received, she'll be released unharmed. We will be holding her for a maximum of 7 days. You will need to send Bitcoin in the amount of 4 million USD before 5 p.m. on Thursday the 5th. If payment is not received, the ransom will be increased to 6 million US dollars, which will need to be paid by 5 p.m. on Monday the 9th. Once payment is received, the Bitcoin address below, she'll be released within 12 hours of deposit to a safe drop-off location in Tucson, Arizona. If payment is not received by the last deadline on Monday the 9th at 5 p.m., she will be killed. Your mother is aware of this, and her life is in your hands. It is in the best interest of everyone to have this completed as soon as possible. You will not be able to contact me from here on out. There will be no negotiation. Do not play games. Law enforcement will not be able to help you." Then they block out some of the identification and the Bitcoin address, and they said the person left this message. She had a white smartwatch on the floor of the foot of her bed, and a white floodlight in the backyard was destroyed. So that was supposed to be the information that proved, hey, these people must have known. That was on February 2nd.
Is there any way anybody would have known about the smartwatch on the floor?
I don't know.
Or the floodlight?
I don't know. Maybe possibly. That was on February 2nd. On February 6th, after the first deadline, they sent another message, and it said, "Guthrie family, we did not fully grasp the seriousness of her physical condition. They're using we here a lot. We never intended to hurt her." Talking about Nancy Guthrie. "That was not our intention. She perished shortly after she was taken. We believe it was heart-related. She is buried in nature now. Nothing you could have done could have changed the outcome. We want your family to know this and hope you can all find peace. We are truly sorry." So that was the second message. The rest of them to TMZ were all fake nonsense. They knew it the whole time. But, yeah, I mean, the second one's kind of interesting. Putting "we never intended to hurt her, that was not our intention." The first message you sent said you would kill her if you didn't get the millions of dollars donated to thing. So there was definitely an intent to possibly hurt her at some point in time. But they finally released those. And the Wall Street Journal this weekend, as I mentioned, had a article about how bad this dopey-ass sheriff completely botched this case. Just an absolute dereliction of duty on this guy's part. This stupid sheriff. Oh, what's his name? Sheriff. Oh, God. What's his name?
Let's see.
See if we can find that real quick. I know we're late for break. But that Sheriff Duty, this guy out there who was involved in this whole case with the Savannah Guthrie, Nancy Guthrie thing. Sheriff Nanos, what a catastrophe. What a joke. What a joke this guy was.
Chris Nanos.
Absolutely an embarrassment to law enforcement, that guy. And the Wall Street Journal lays out all of the things that they missed in their little podunk investigation. All right, quick break. When we come back, we kick off the Power Hour. I'll give you that update in the Power Hour about the THC drink ban and a whole lot more, including a pick-a-side before we wrap it up today. The Power Hour is coming up next on the News Junkie.
Your chance to win $1,000 in your hand is minutes away on Real Radio 104.1. Brought to you by Mills Air.
Look out for road rangers clearing up some debris eastbound on I-4 near Amelia Street. A crash is slowing down traffic on US 192 in both directions between Avalon and 429. There's a crash on Apopka Vineland Road northbound before I-4 getting cleared up. See traffic troubles, call the Valvoline Instant Oil Change traffic tip line at 866-676-8477. From the Traffic Center, I'm James Birmingham.
This report is sponsored by RockAuto.com.
Oh, that grinding and squealing. What are you going to do about that?
Time for new brakes. The chain store never has what I need.
No worries. Go to RockAuto.com for name brands at lower prices.
Congratulations, Dennis. You just won $1,000 from Real Radio.
Oh, wow.
What are you going to do with your money, Dennis?
Party and pay some bills.
With 13 chances each day to get $1,000 in your hand, we ask, who's next? This contest brought to you locally by Mills Air.
Mills Air has been in business since 1992, right here in Central Florida. That's over 29 years. They're not going anywhere. Carrier factory authorized dealer. Turn to the experts. That's Mills Air. It's equipment change-out time. You can get upgrades up to $1,275 in rebates. Go to millsair.com.
Someone had a birthday.
Yep, 50. Can't believe it.
50 years of wisdom.
Great segue. We have a health reminder from the CDC.
Pneumococcal vaccination is recommended for adults 50 or older. Says here, we're over 6 times more likely to be hospitalized with pneumococcal pneumonia than adults under 50.
I don't love those odds.
Same. Look what I found. Pfizer's.
Hello. Welcome behind the scenes. Still only 4 lonely supporters on the August leaderboard. Go over there to thenewsjunkie.com, hit that gift icon. 1 is the loneliest number, but still a great amount of gifts for our August kickoff. Go do that over at thenewsjunkie.com right now. Couple of minutes and we're back live. For all of those folks in chat who spent some time in college, question for you. A man named Nathan Thomas has just broken the record. Nathan Thomas just broke a world record. Nathan Thomas is the youngest male professor in the world. He is 18 years and 346 days old. That breaks a world record that has lasted 306 years. In the last 306 years, that's 3 centuries. 3 centuries. No cars, no power, no nothing. Just past agrarian living. It held for 306 years. The previous record was in 1746, I guess. And this guy, Nathan Thomas, is the youngest male professor at 18 years old. If you're in college in your classroom and your professor comes in and it's an 18-year-old kid, what do you say? You've paid for your college education. You paid for the class. You go into the class. This guy's voice cracks while he's introducing himself to you. And he says, I'll be your professor. And he's 18 years old. What do you say? 2 minutes and we're back live. I would say, sup fam, no cap, skibbity. What does he teach? How to break world records? I just there's no way that an 18-year-old, I don't care how smart, I don't care how long he's been focused on this and his short track, there's no way an 18-year-old is going to be a successful and efficient professor. Sorry. Got to show me your rank and knowledge? I mean, if he knows the subject, why not? I mean, you can know a subject because you can memorize things. That's what some people view as intelligence. I don't view that as intelligence at all. Memorizing things does not make you a smart person. Being able to figure things out makes you a smart person. Being able to use your worldview and lens to diagnose things on a broader scale makes you a smart person, an intelligent person. Not memorizing things. So you can memorize things and go in front of the class, but you need to be a professor who has the experience of not just memorizing things throughout history or your field of interest, but you need to be able to convey that information in a way that people can understand it and learn from it. I don't think an 18-year-old professor can do that. But maybe I'm wrong. I'm probably not, but maybe I'm wrong. All right, here we go. Here we go.
Central Florida homeowners. Now, they're here to help you every Saturday at 7 a.m. From repairs to remodels and how to avoid costly mistakes. Just tune in to Home Pro Radio on Real Radio 104.1.
Do you have AC needs? Turn to the experts at Carrier. Go to millsair.com.
Broadcasting live from the JustCallMo.com studios. Need help after an accident? Just call Mo. Learn more at JustCallMo.com or call 1-800-CALL-MO. This is WTKS-FM HD1 Cocoa Beach, Orlando. An iHeart radio station guaranteed human.
Real Radio has your chance to win $1,000. Just enter this nationwide keyword on our website. New. N-E-W. That's new. Enter it now at realradio.fm and answer your phone if you get the call. Good luck.
Because you're never too old to learn something stupid. This is the News Junkie.
By a couple emails before this and then a pick aside right after we rip open the Power Hour today here on a Monday. Got an interesting piece of news for you about the show tomorrow. In the meantime, Mike emails tips@thenewsjunkie.com. Mike says, I'm down here in West Palm Beach. Hey, Mike. Hey, folks. Down here in West Palm, I can tell you over the last few weeks out west, the water has so much chlorine in it. You guys were talking about the water supply possibly being hacked with the expert lady. It smells like pool water here. It's eased up over the last week, but it makes me wonder what's in the lines that needs that much disinfectant to get the coliform numbers at acceptable levels, says Mike. Thank you for the email, Mike. Appreciate that. Somebody else, have you seen the video of this woman who was kicked off a flight for preaching? We told you this was happening out there.
This woman seems obnoxious, though.
Does
I have
she?
seen this video, and yeah. I mean, we talked about the preaching on the plane and whether or not that was going to happen, or that being a captive audience, even more so than a subway car, because subway cars stop a lot more frequently than planes.
Yeah.
But yeah, they had this woman. I think one of her videos was in Orlando, because I think they might have kicked her out in Orlando. And but some of the comments were like, yeah, she's preaching it all, but she's also very attention seeking and trolling a lot of her videos. I only saw the one that was going viral now.
Should I play this?
Yeah.
Let me see. Here's the video he sent over. This is one of them from this woman who got kicked off the flight for preaching. I told you this was a spreading thing, and a bunch of people go, there's no better place with a captive audience than on a plane, and people started to stand up and preach their their word of their God, their gospel, whatever, on these flights. And I said, well, this is quite obnoxious. People don't like that type of stuff. Here's somebody trying it out. Here's Whitney.
Everybody, good morning. I know we're all waiting. It's kind of frustrating, right? This wait. But I want to tell you that God's timing is perfect and God knows everything. And maybe he's sparing us from danger today. So I want you to rest and know that Jesus Christ loves you so much, that he died on the cross for your sins. He rose again in 3 days. He's alive and he's the one true God. But the wages of our sin is death, hell forever. Apart from Jesus, we won't make it to heaven. But he loves you so much.
When she says hell forever, it sounds like she's pro hell. Just for a second there. Like, hell forever.
This is obnoxious, man. I don't care what your religion is. And I think the same people who might support this on some level, if some Islamic dude gets up, some Islamic scholar who wants to spread the word of Muhammad, and he starts preaching to the plane, they go, whoa, Captain Terrorist, sit down over there. I don't want this, not because it's religion, because it's annoying.
Lord, repent of your sins.
Tell her to shut up.
He's coming back very soon. I pray protection over this flight in the name of Jesus. Amen. Amen. Bless you guys.
Yeah, look, the crowd goes wild.
Yeah. Amen. Hello.
All right, there she is.
Hello, everybody.
She said she got kicked off of Alaska Air for this. There was one more video.
I have a crowd reaction right here.
What a shocker, what a surprise. It's a tough story as long as it flies. This next clip is wild and insane. And as you might have guessed, we're back on a plane.
I'm such an idiot. I 100% fell for that.
I can't believe you still fall for these.
I was like, oh, cool. He's got the audio of the people on the plane.
I even thought that "do you" sounded a little sarcastic, like, oh, do you? Here goes the song.
I meant it. I was like, oh, here's the second video.
You can't just tell me to get my stuff and then not tell me what's going on.
Okay, so you follow your stuff and follow me.
Huh?
Just pick up your stuff and follow me.
Okay.
Pick up your
You're
stuff.
still not telling me.
Huh?
Still not telling me
So
what's
the
going
crews
on.
don't feel safe with you.
They don't feel safe?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, I didn't know the message of Jesus Christ was unsafe. Wow. Do I have any guns or anything like that? No, I don't.
Why are you saying guns?
So freedom of speech is not safe? So if I said something else, would that be okay? I'll tell you what this is. It's called spiritual warfare. You know why?
I love this kind of victimization nonsense. I absolutely love this stuff. You're like, I thought we had freedom of speech. And you go, yeah. Does it occur to you that freedom of speech doesn't allow you to say whatever you want to the captive audience on a plane stuck on the tarmac? That maybe those people are going to operate under the rules and regulations of what the aircraft and airline are suggesting is the right thing to do at that time, and that the whole world doesn't revolve around you. Have you ever considered that? Like, freedom of speech. Okay, freedom of speech. Next time you really want to exercise your freedom of speech, and I'm the biggest free speech person you'll ever meet in your life, but I'm actually a free speech person. But freedom and diversity of opinions, right? Without punishment in so many cases. But it doesn't mean that you can do stuff like this. You can't go to somebody's funeral that you don't know and walk up to the microphone and be like, I don't know this guy, but I bet he sucked. I'm just here to drop some bombs on you at his funeral as a total and complete stranger. Like, that's not how it works. That's not what freedom of speech is about to begin with.
This is spiritual warfare, Sean. Spiritual warfare.
Spiritual warfare? What the hell?
Because demons don't like the name of Jesus. Yeah. But it's not unsafe to talk about the gospel. I didn't know. Is that a crime? Is it against the law? Can you tell me that? Is it?
Oh, God.
Can you tell us? Is
She's
it against
also
the law?
like, she sounds like somebody who's kind of having an interaction with the police. Like, what am I being charged with? It's like, hey, that's not how this works.
Are you detaining me?
We told you to get off the plane. You get off the plane. That's how this works. This is not. We're not policemen. We are the people that are in charge of this aircraft. And it's time for you to get your ass off.
Well, we'll let this be a pick aside for you folks as well. What do you think? The lady on the plane, free speech. She should be able to say what she wants, including talking about her God and spreading the word of her God to the other passengers on the plane. Or no, I don't have to be subjected to this. I'm stuck in this plane right now, and this is an absolute disaster. Consider that while we do the Power Hour.
All right. They said it couldn't be done. Then they said,
holy F, I won. I'm so happy my life's going to be better now.
It's time for the Power Hour on the News.
Congratulations, man. I mean, look, at least things are looking up this week.
Yeah.
I thought that things would be set for failure when you said we shouldn't open with a clip we opened up with today.
Oh.
But, at least this is good. This is good news in some way. All right, here we go. Let's get to this pick a side for you. In fact, I even have the intro clip. Let's pick a side. We're going on a ride. Yeah, it's time to pick a side. Yeah, don't try to run and hide. Yeah, it's time to pick a side. This woman is blaming the public transportation folks for not being accommodating. She's in a wheelchair. Get ready for the weirdest twist in a pick a side video that we've ever had. It says this woman is in her wheelchair. She's upset that she can't get onto public transportation. Here we go, C-Lane. Let's go.
The lift's down. Rip. Here's what happens if you're a wheelchair user and the lift breaks at the train station.
Okay, so she's arrived in Piccadilly, Manchester. So she's in the UK, and she's at this area where she's trying to get on the underground or whatever, the train. And when she gets up to the stairs, she's like, how am I supposed to get up here in my wheelchair? And she thinks that this is not handicap accessible.
Manchester Piccadilly, and when I arrived, the lift was broken and I had my chair and attachment. I spoke to the staff and they brought down a stair lift. I don't know if it works. The first option was the built-in stair lift, but this actually didn't work. They figured out that it was broken, so that was two options completely down.
All right, so the elevator isn't working for the wheelchair lady. Then they had some sort of stair lift, and that also is not working. And there's 2 flights of stairs in front of her, and she can't get her wheelchair up there, and she's mad.
I don't think I knew they had portable stair lifts that you could just kind of walk around with and just clamp one on and go, here you go.
I didn't either. Like the ones in the commercials where the old lady goes up the side of the stairs. So she wants to get up there. She says, I'm in a wheelchair. You should accommodate for this. So we're going to have to choose whether we think the woman in the wheelchair is wrong or whether we think the people running this train station are wrong. Let's keep going.
Second option was a small portable stair lift, which didn't look as sturdy, and I was quite scared of it, not going to lie. But they brought it down anyway, and when we got to the bottom, we realised that my chair wouldn't fit onto it. I have quite a long wheelbase with my attachment, so we couldn't do it. We'd just gotten off a flight too, so I couldn't even detach my attachment because it was physically taped together and we didn't.
Okay, the stair lift goes up. And you're supposed to put your wheelchair on it, and it like crawls up like a robot. It almost looks like one of those pool robots,
like a little tank. It's got those tank wheels,
but it wasn't big enough for hers. So she couldn't get up the elevator. She couldn't get up the portable lift. She couldn't get up the stair lift. She's mad at this place. So what does she do? Well, she says enough's enough. And she gets out of her wheelchair and walks up the stairs.
Taped together, and we didn't have scissors. So in the end, because I'm ambulatory and I did have a bit of energy on this day, I offered to walk up the stairs while they carried up my setup. The staff were really helpful in this case, but I'm not sure how it would have been fixed if I couldn't walk up the stairs. Travel is really unpredictable anyway, but if you add in being a wheelchair user, you never quite know what's going to happen or how to get to your destination.
Okay, wait, we'll stop right here. Let's stop and consider what just happened. We've witnessed a miracle, ladies and gentlemen. After plot twist is correct, Feral Kitten on Twitch, we have witnessed a miracle. After demanding every possible way up this flight of stairs, she goes, well, enough's enough. I'll just get up and I'll walk up the flight of stairs. And she walks up the flight of stairs to the top stair. And you might be saying, well, yes, Sean, there are people in wheelchairs that sometimes have to get up in emergencies and walk. Don't you know about that? May I submit to you a video of this woman doing her part-time hobby? Here she is. She also likes to do gymnastics, I guess. This is her here. Oh, yeah. Boy, she's stretching and bending in ways I wouldn't think you could do in a wheelchair. She's on, what is this called? A balance bar?
Balance beam, something like that.
She's on the balance beam in the gym, ladies and gentlemen. This woman is now able to get up on the balance beam.
And
I mean, she's fit. There's nothing about her that doesn't work or
This is
doesn't
the same
move.
girl?
This is the same woman, okay? The woman claims, after all of this, that she's part of a group called ambulatory wheelchair users. And I guess these are people. Here's some other people in this community. Are they all women? A lot of them appear to be women. They're all in wheelchairs. In this video, they're all at the airport, I believe. And look up real quick, C-Lane. Ambulatory wheelchair users. I guess these are people who just kind of use them and they can't tell you why. Ambulatory wheelchair users. This is some community. It's somebody who can walk or stand to some degree, but uses a wheelchair to manage chronic pain, conserve energy, or stay safe. To stay safe, you use a wheelchair? What? You're like in the
Maybe
hood?
you're really bad at walking.
Maybe, I don't. They use wheelchairs even though they can walk. It says common misconceptions that they're faking it. You know what? If you can do this, if you can get into a gym and do acrobatics and get on the balance beam and bend over like a reverse crab, I'm going to say you're faking it. All right? I'm going to say you're stolen valoring your way into a wheelchair. That was the twist I did not expect in this scenario. But there she is. So what side do you pick? The lady in the wheelchair who ended up walking up the stairs, or the train station that didn't have things to get somebody up the stairs to begin with? It's on you. You pick a side. Let us know what you think with your comments on this.
I kind of side with the poor guys who had to double team that wheelchair to get it up the stairs.
Can you imagine being those guys?
Watching her walk.
You imagine being these guys who pick up her wheelchair and then they go, okay, we're going to carry you up. And she goes, no, I'm good. I'll just walk to the top of the stairs. Wait, what? All I think about is people who are actually disabled in wheelchairs watching this. A friend of mine is in a wheelchair, has been since he was 20 years old, 19 or 20 years old. I can imagine him watching this and going like, oh, God, I don't think you can grasp the amount of anger I have for a person who's doing stolen valor in a wheelchair. For a person who's like mentally bent themselves around so much that they think they're like disabled and need to wheel around and want the attention or whatever. Very, very, very weird. And I imagine people who are actually disabled have particular thoughts about this, but let us know what you think. There you go. There's your pick a side for today. It's the evidence against her doesn't look great in the moment, but we'll see what you have to say. All right, quick break. When we come back, we have so much to work in and not a lot of time. People were asking about the RFK clip. I've got it. We can play that. RFK yelling at some people on CNN. There's a lot happening in the WNBA world, so we can try to work that in. There's this mom who got a DUI who's going mega viral, and we'll try to work in all of that. I don't know if it's all going to fit in, but we'll do our best, and we'll see how that goes. It's all coming up next on the News Junkie.
Real Radio is on Instagram at Real Radio 1041. Sponsored by the law offices of Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys. Call the law offices of Anajar and Levine at 1-800-747-FREE.
That's 1-800-747-3733.
From the Clausman Law Traffic Center, car crash, call Clausman Law. ClausmanLaw.com.
Traffic's backed up heading through the city due to an accident eastbound on I-4 near Colonial Drive. The right lane's blocked there. You're going to get stuck in some slowdowns westbound on I-4 through Champions Gate. There's a crash off to the shoulder near Osceola Polk Line Road getting cleared up. An accident on Apopka Vineland Road northbound before that I-4 exit. See traffic troubles? Call the Valvoline Instant Oil Change traffic tip line at 866-676-8477. From the Traffic Center, I'm James Birmingham.
Welcome behind the scenes, everybody. Stand by.
He'll tell you if you're leaving money on the table. It's super easy, so easy you can do it on your phone. Just go to thatmortgageguydon.com.
Hello? I forgot I bought that. Could be fun. No, that's a disaster. Okay, hang on. Okay, there's that. Bro, what a weird thing to like want to get sympathy and pretend your way into being a wheelchair when you're able to bend yourself over backwards like a crab. Quite a time. I've needed the little scooter at the grocery store a few times, but I'm not out doing back bends and balance beams. I would say if you can do back bends, balance beams, and what appeared to be an entire floor routine, you do not need a wheelchair. I'll say it. Yeah, I'll say that. I know there's always a risk of not wanting to call somebody out just in case they're not faking it, but I would say if you can do those things, you're probably not in need of a wheelchair. I'm not sure how we're going to use this, but we have a shock Tato in the studio now. A shock Tato has arrived in the studio. Stand by. Whoa. It's a potato that shocks the shit out of you. Like hot potato style. There's got to be a great way we can use this in Secret Show's world. I think we've got to work that in this week. Shock Tato is a fun game. We got to work that into Secret Shows, I think. A shocking affair this week. 2 minutes and we're back live. Toss it to Courtney every time she enters the studio. Just foop, foop. We got some news for you, as I said, tomorrow on the show. Can't wait to tell you about this. Oh, I forgot. You know, worth saying here. Hang on. R.I.P. to Vincent Pastore, a.k.a. what, chat? Who died this weekend at 80 years old. Vincent Pastore, also known by his nickname, Blank. Vincent Pastore, also known by his nickname, Blank, died at 80 this weekend. After he just was at an event where he looked pretty good. He looked like he was healthy. That's right, Big Pussy. Vincent Pastore from The Sopranos, a.k.a. Big Pussy, has died at 80 years old. R.I.P. to him. Unbelievable. Sleeping with the fishes in the sky? True. True. All right, here we go.
Live radio stations, playlists, podcasts, and artist stations all in one app. So if you haven't already, download the free iHeartRadio app. Free radio. Always has been, always will be. Now wherever you go.
iHeartRadio.
Win $25,000 in free impact windows from Reese Windows. Text TRUST to 20129.
Real Radio has your chance to win $1,000. Just enter this nationwide keyword on our website. New. N-E-W. That's new. Enter it now at realradio.fm and answer your phone if you get the call. Good luck.
Radio. Radio. 104.1.
Preparing you for the impending robot uprising. This is the News Junkie.
Premium subscriptions. Go claim those over on thenewsjunkie.com or get the support train rolling for an August. It's a clear slate over there on the gifted subscription board. And by the way, if you're listening to the podcast, that's the way you can best support the show. If you listen to the podcast, be like, oh, okay, I'll subscribe. Either become a premium subscriber on the website, thenewsjunkie.com, or if you're already subscribed, take it to the next level by gifting a couple to some other listeners out there to bring them into the world of a premium subscription and unlock secret shows. Couple of things we haven't gotten to. Let's see. I wanted to work in, we did enough of this front. I wanted to work in some stuff about the In-N-Out shooting. There was a lot of coverage of this over the weekend. Here's some of the footage. I don't know if they curse in this, so I'm going to mute this, but I'll explain it to everybody. This is right outside the In-N-Out, and the shooter was on the move, and the person that popped up was just some guy, like a cowboy hat wearing guy, who's a good guy with a gun, who popped up to stop this shooting that was underway at a Chick-fil-A location. He got into a gunfight with the guy with the semi-automatic weapon. He popped out. It looks like this might be his vehicle right here because his trunk is open. You see the trunk is open on the vehicle. For those of you watching at youtube.com/thenewsjunkie, he pops his trunk open, and then he gets into a bona fide shootout with the guy trying to shoot up the Chick-fil-A at the moment. Then there was an officer as well that got into it with this shooter, and they were able to seemingly stop this from being even worse than it was. Here's outside. This is from inside somebody's vehicle. I think this is where you can actually see the shooter walking around right there outside the In-N-Out. This is in Twin Falls, Idaho, where this happened. The person was not apprehended alive. They turned their own gun on themselves.
Oh, it's a good thing you kept this muted. I could see the...
Yeah, I figured they were going to
the captions going by.
So that the video, the white car with the trunk up might have been the actual original shooters, and the person came from around the way to confront them and successfully distracted them. There is, I think I got the police talking about this in a press conference. Here they are. He's 24 years old. The shooter's name is Chad Williams.
Being reviewed by the Jerome Police Department. More information about that incident will be forthcoming in the days to follow. At this time, we can confirm that the suspect, 24-year-old Chad Williams, is deceased from a self-inflicted gunshot wound. Investigators are continuing to review the incident timeline, process evidence, and conduct interviews.
So he was 24, and there's not a huge database of information about him online. He didn't have a really big imprint on social media. The Twin Falls In-N-Out, I'm looking at where this was on the map here. Looks like it's right by the mountains, I think, wherever they are here in Twin Falls, Idaho. And it was just this In-N-Out burger that I think was a relatively new location. One of the employees was indeed killed. I think I have a statement from In-N-Out. Here it is. In-N-Out said a tragic shooting at a newly opened In-N-Out burger in Twin Falls, Idaho, killed 3 people, including an In-N-Out associate who was serving customers at the time. 7 others were injured. In-N-Out expressed deep sorrow, offering condolences to the victims' families, and said the company is mourning the loss of its associate. President Lindsay Snyder shared that the associate was helping customers during the tragedy and said the entire In-N-Out family is grieving alongside the victims' loved ones. So, again, the weirdest thing about this is, once more, we've found the person's name, and there's not a big social media imprint of this person and a clear reason as to why they did it, which we were kind of getting used to being the case. Somebody had asked about RFK, and if I saw what was happening on CNN, there was a shouting match. Not really surprising, I guess.
Sounds hurtful for RFK.
Yeah, that's true. I don't know how good this is going to be to listen to, but we'll give it a peek here because this was going viral over the weekend.
Are you also trying to find out how it interacts with people's DNA, what's predisposed to have an autistic child? Are you doing both?
Yeah, but Dana, you probably don't understand this because you're not a scientist, but genes
you're not
don't
either.
cause
I understand. Genes, epidemics.
Provide a vulnerability.
A gene provides
environmental.
That's what I'm asking. Are you studying the environmental
We're looking
exposure?
at all the different environmental exposures, but your statement, you have been fooled. Your statement that this has been studied is not true. It's categorically
It is
not
considered.
true. Not for any of this stuff.
It is considered.
Considered
decided
by who?
By every scientist who has studied this.
That is not true. I can give you hundreds of scientists.
Hundreds.
So on the one hand, do you understand why people aren't
National
getting
Academy of Sciences? What greater authority
Do you understand why people are not getting measles vaccines? Because they're hearing you say that it could cause
You're trying
autism.
to change the subject.
I'm not. It's very much
Yeah, you are.
related.
Show me one of the studies that's been done on the first 8 the vaccines during the first 6 months of life. You will not find them. The National Academy of Sciences.
So if that's the
Man, it's tough to get in a shouting match when you're RFK because he doesn't physically have the ability to like shout like that. So he seems even more exasperated than if you were actually yelling at a person like this.
It
So
just
that's him
seems
on
like even regular talking is a chore for him.
Yeah, it
so
does.
Getting in this debate, you just kind of feel bad for the guy, even if you disagree with him.
Yeah. I also saw, I wanted to come back and scoop this up a little bit. Somebody was responding to the Spider-Man Brand New Day, and I said it was the number 2 all-time U.S. box office opening weekend behind Avengers Endgame. I said, and I believe this, that it would have been number 1 if it wasn't for IMAX being fully locked down by the Odyssey because of a deal the Odyssey had with all the IMAX theaters that could have made even more money. They'll be in theaters this weekend with some IMAX screens, and people who want to see Spider-Man that way might boost it up really good for a second weekend. But the movie made huge money, and it was the biggest U.S. box office weekend in the history of the box office. Somebody sent over, hey, you got the number 1 movie, the number 1 highest grossing film, they said, is actually Gone with the Wind. And I see people do this a lot. Like they have a completely different list of the top films of all time. And they'll go, it's Gone with the Wind, The Birth of a Nation, Star Wars, The Sound of Music. And they go by how many people bought tickets, not the actual revenue or the adjusted gross of the box office, which is kind of fair. But I think you also, when people send this over, I think you don't understand some pretty important things. Gone with the Wind, they're trying to say Gone with the Wind was the highest grossing film of all time, not Avengers Endgame.
Well, you
or
can't call it highest grossing. You know, biggest opening or most successful movie. Grossing literally indicates that you're talking about money.
Yeah.
And the money
right.
was just different.
Revenues. Yeah. The money was different back then. It cost less. But the thing that I don't think people know, when Gone with the Wind came out in 1939, Sealand, I don't even know how you would look this up. I'm pretty sure Gone with the Wind was in theaters for years and years and years. Like, I think Gone with the Wind might have been in theaters for 4 or 5 years. In 1939, they weren't cranking out movies every week, and we're so spoiled we don't understand this stuff. But in 1939, when something came to the theaters, it was going to be there for a really long time. And then word of mouth would be like, have you seen Gone with the Wind? Oh, I've seen it. I've seen it 7 times. It's just a fantastic piece.
So the original theatrical run of Gone with the Wind lasted almost 2 years.
Okay.
Following its December 15th, 1939 premiere, it played as a high-priced roadshow engagement before transitioning to a general release at popular prices in early 1941, anchoring continuous theater screens nationwide for well over 18 straight months.
Okay, so for years, this thing was sitting in the box office, and I think that between all the re-releases, because it was re-released in theaters a lot of times too, and that also goes to the number of like admissions or whatever you would get from this. This is just a weird way to do the money. I understand adjusting money over time, but back then things were so different. And like John says, it's not like there was a big selection to choose from. No, when you were going to the movies, The only reason you might say plural is because there might be one other movie other than Gone with the Wind. There was not a lot of stuff at the box office. People would go see everything just because they wanted to see something, even if the movie sucked, or they would go see whatever movie that they could because it was a different movie to watch on the big screen at the theater. So those times were different. This weekend, Spider-Man was just a few million short of being the biggest opening weekend in U.S. history. Very successful.
At the top of the show, when we talked about Spider-Man having the weekend that it did, a lot of people were chiming in yeah, that's because the tickets to Spider-Man are way more than the tickets were to Titanic or any of the other movies that had these epic runs at the box office. The tickets are so much more expensive now to go see them that less people can get this record. Takes less people to set the records at the box office.
Yeah, that's true. It is. But we just go by money. We go by the actual money that it brings in. And if you want to do like the inflation included and adjusted for inflation numbers, that's fine. But yeah, I mean, these are the classic movies that so many people saw because they were just out in the theaters forever and ever, and every person in the country saw it multiple times. I'm exaggerating, but only a little bit. I'm not exaggerating that much. People went to see these over and over again.
There's been plenty of movies even that I can remember in my lifetime where people have seen it multiple times. Top Gun Maverick, I had friends that saw it 3-4 times. Titanic was one that especially the female audience watched over and over and over.
Somebody in chat literally said that they just went to see Odyssey for the second time, the Odyssey. So they're like, they'll go to see the movie in a regular theater, and now I want to see it in IMAX, and you go to see the movie twice. So that still happens with this kind of stuff.
I don't think I've ever watched a movie more than once in a theater just because I loved it so much. I think it was like the only times I've done it is because, yeah, I've seen it, but then we were going out with a bunch of friends and they want to watch it, and I was like, whatever. I liked it the first time. I watched Team America more than more than one time in theaters.
Why not?
It was a funny movie that I really liked, but it wasn't anything that I would have gone, I have to see this in theaters again.
Yeah, I need the cinematic experience. That's what I need here.
The marionettes.
Quick break. When we come back, we'll get into your final dispatches, which is just a wash with Rate My Blank, which is Rate My Dad Joke this week. I'm going to sift through these a little bit and see if there's any that'll crack a smile even for us. And we'll also do the stories that didn't make the cut and today learn to wrap everything up for a Monday. All of that is coming up next on the News Junkie.
Real Radio is the Jim Colbert Show.
Trappers have pulled 414 nuisance alligators from Walt Disney World property over the last 10 years.
How about that? I saw that number today, and I'm like, damn!
Where do they go?
They take them to Universal.
The Jim Colbert Show, weekdays at 3 on Real Radio 104.1.
From the Odoo.com.
Stand by, everybody. Here we go. J-turn. Whoa, did I hit that? Whoa, what? It froze. Oh, there it goes. J-turn. Thank you for the gifted subscriptions. Oh, sorry, Celine. Sorry you were subjected to this. And also, Tom, thank you for the additional 2 subs. Thank you so much. I got to get a song for the way out here. Bear with me. It is time, friend, to rate the show. Rate the show. 10 out of 10. It goes over here in the Hall of Fame winning territory. 1 out of 10, Loserville. We never talk about it again. Into the Hall of Shame over there. Please do not factor in the dad jokes at all. Do not blame that on us. That is not our fault. It's a good jam. 7.2 menstrual Molotovs out of 10. 8 non-obvious handicaps out of 10. 9 out of 10 plain preachers. 10 out of 10 tampons, says Nicole. 1 nut woman on a plane out of 10 Kokomos. Good old Kokomo. I love Sucker Punch so much. I took a friend to see it, and upon second viewing, I realized it's not much of a plot, and it was kind of boring. Once the crazy effects and music and boobs wore off. Nice. "10 out of 10 backflips into my wheelchair. 20 out of 10 fake wheelchair users. 9 out of 10 pit bull bites. 10 Amy K's out of 10. 10 evangelists on a plane out of 10. 9 out of 10 wheelchair cosplayers. Nice. Like that. 9 out of 10 staircase crab walks. You got to be skilled to pull that off. Stand by. I didn't even pay for them yet. Okay, we'll announce those tomorrow. That's crazy. No. I guess I'll go pay for them today. It looks good though, right? Oh, got you. There we go. Come over here. All right, we got Today I Learn's all ready to go. That makes 2 announcements, 2 little tidbits that we'll be talking about on the show tomorrow. 1 big thing, 1 little thing to talk about on the show tomorrow. Don't miss our Tuesday show. Thank you to our gifters for today. Sun State John with a 13, Tom with 7, Ryan with 6, Cat BH with 5, and Jay Turn with 2. We still got time to get a couple more names on that board for August. 2 minutes left. Sharing is caring. Barbecue Baby says 2 people have died from cyclospora. He worded it differently. That's true. That's crazy. I'm working on trying to line up an interview with the senator who is the biggest figure and actively fighting the November ban on THC drinks. All right? I'm working. There's a guy who's pushing this through, who's making some progress to possibly stop the THC ban. And he doesn't just blame the liquor companies for getting it to this point. You know who else he blames? He blames it was a lot of financing by the legal marijuana distributors and companies around the country. The legal marijuana facilities didn't want the competition from the THC drinks, so they lobbied heavily. The liquor companies didn't want the competition, so they too lobbied heavily. And that gets us to where we are. Crazy. All right, we're coming back. Thank you, guys. Love you. Love you. Appreciate you. Don't miss the show this week at all. 2 pieces of news for you tomorrow. Stand by. Stay gold.
And the best part? The roll fits right here in my pocket, so I can get back to moving mountains.
Rolade spells powerful relief. 1,500 milligrams is our highest amount of antacid per tablet. Read each label. Use as directed. Keep out of reach of children.
Still sleeping on that old bed? Mattress Firm's sleep experts can help you choose the perfect upgrade. They'll guide you every step, answering your questions. Shop today and save big during the best sale of the year. They make sleep easy.
This earful of Real Radio is brought to you by crimeline.org. Give a tip anonymously.
Where breaking news meets broken people. This is the News Junkie.
And today I learned to wrap everything up for a Monday. Working on a lot of stuff this week. A few things here. A few pieces of news for you tomorrow. One a little bit bigger, one a little bit smaller. So don't miss the show tomorrow. We'll have two things to tell you, to talk to you about on the show that are show related. I also am working on trying to get the senator who is, he's the one who's like leading the charge against, hold on, is he a senator? He's a congressman. James Comer. James Comer is the senator who is fighting this THC drinks ban, and he has put together a plan to try to keep those THC drinks in your stores. James Comer, if we could talk to him, we might line this up, is talking about the actual thing that resulted in this ban that's on the way for THC drinks. And they said, sure, it was indeed a lot of the liquor companies. It was the liquor companies who were lobbying against these THC drinks. But you know who else it was? It was the legal marijuana distributors who didn't want the competition from the THC-based people. So,
because if the liquor companies are against this, it's quite weird. The alcohol retailers are in favor of it. There's take this as you will, because the source is a publication called marijuanamoment.net.
Mm-hmm.
But it says alcohol retailers celebrate Senate's move to keep hemp THC drinks legal for now.
Okay, they're trying. They haven't done this, but maybe we could put a little pressure on this and make this happen to keep the THC industry, the drink industry going. I think it's harmless and nothing but good. Tax it if you want, whatever. It's already expensive. But the people behind this, you should know if your THC drinks disappear in November. The story says opponents of hemp-derived THC, including state-licensed cannabis operators, so the legit cannabis people who are selling weed to everybody, don't want the competition from the THC drinks people, and alcohol distributors and anti-drug advocacy groups lobbied Congress heavily for the ban. They got the ban worked into this thing that is going to go through in November. How crazy is it? The anti-drug people and the pro-drug people work together with the alcohol people to ban THC drinks.
Are these retailers in places where it's recreationally legal? Because, like, for us in Florida, it's not really a thing. You're not using the THC drink as an alternative to real weed because legally, without a medical card, you're not supposed to have it.
I will go a little deeper into this tomorrow, and we'll see if we can rally some folks behind this and rescue everything. But right now, we got to get the hell out of here. Let's do Today I Learned.
The following information may make you feel smarter, but will not actually increase your IQ. So don't get cocky. Now it's time for what we call Today I Learned.
It is Today I Learned for a Monday, August 3rd, and 2026 is the year. Today I Learned this band right here.
Zac Brown Band.
That's right, Zac Brown Band, real generous with those Margarita Cruise monies. $40 million, though. Did he really spend $40 million? Really? Zac Brown Band's Chicken Fried. This song took 5 years to become a hit song. It was originally recorded in 2003, did not go viral and hit the radio charts until 2008. Thank you so much for hanging out with us. We do appreciate it. We're back tomorrow, same time, same place. Missed any of the show? Get the podcast at thenewsjunkie.com.